And we are back.
Hello.
Hey, Russ, welcome.
Hi, Matt.
Welcome back to 4K Kings.
It's been a while.
It has been. How are you doing?
Doing pretty good. How are you doing?
Doing pretty good. Are we live? Lindsay, the producer, can we confirm?
Hello, yes, I believe we are live. Hi, everybody.
We are live in studio. Russ and I are back. 4K Kings in the house. Thank you all for joining. Thanks for waiting, actually. We took like sort of like a week off. We've had a kind of like a little bit of a rocky schedule, and we're here on a very special Tuesday stream. What's
special about today, Matt?
I don't know. It's Tuesday, not Wednesday.
It's James Cameron Tuesday.
Wah, 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 wah. Yeah. James Cameron Tuesday. Welcome everybody to James Cameron Tuesday here at 4K Kings. Lindsay, who do we got out there tonight? Who's with us? Who's the Tuesday crowd? Wednesdays are pretty bumping. How are Tuesdays?
Looks like we have a lot of people showing up. We've got
What's
Eric
happening?
De Leon, Fuzzy Catford 2008,
Nice.
Mohawk Vader, Canadian Maker Project.
Where's everybody from? Can we get some locations as well?
I think the one person's from Canada.
Canada.
I think you might be right. And Jordan was on earlier too from Canada.
Welcome, Jordan. Welcome all of our...
Welcome, Rick Moranis.
Is he out there?
I wish.
I'm just going... Welcome, Strange Brew.
All Canadian people that you know?
Yeah. Welcome, Brian Adams.
And Rick Moranis is the first Canadian person you could think of?
Oh, fuck yeah. Is there a greater Canadian?
That's awesome.
Is there a greater Canadian in existence than Rick Moranis?
I don't know. Anybody out there watching from Canada, tell us who's better than Rick Moranis.
Actually, is there a better person alive than Rick
he's
Moranis? I mean, what a solid dude. You know what? We're not even going to discuss James Cameron today. This is going to be a Rick Moranis love fest.
I was going to say, welcome to the 4K Kings Rick Moranis love fest.
What a solid guy. That man I'm serious. That man walked away from everything. He didn't have to. He could have He said, no, I tragically lost my wife. I'm going to be a family man. Even Ghostbusters, after all these years, he was the holdout, right? Please don't tell me he came back.
He didn't come back.
Okay. See what I mean? He's a solid dude.
It took Mint Mobile to bring him back.
Solid dude.
Ryan Reynolds, Mint Mobile. He was in that commercial with him.
It's getting shaky now.
It's getting
on
shaky.
Shaky ground now, but I'm sticking with it. Little Shop of Horrors gets a lot of love.
All right. Well, Russ, we're a bit off the rails here. Let's rein it in. Welcome everyone to 4K Kings. I am Matt.
I am Rick Beato.
And we've got Lindsay, the producer, in the booth. Say hi to everyone in the chat. Say hi to Lindsay, the producer. Say hi to each other. Welcome to another special episode where we are going to be covering quite a bit. As Russ mentioned, this is a very special James Cameron episode.
It is.
As well. We're going to be talking about what's happening with those titles. We're actually going to do a top 5 James Cameron list. Russ and I's top 5 movies that James Cameron has put out.
Spoiler alert, Way of the Water is all 5.
I know we asked, and I should probably bring that up too. I know we put a poll up in the community tab of our site, and of our YouTube channel. If you still haven't voted, go on there really quick and vote, because I'll pull it up as we do it, because we put up there, basically, it only lets you put 5, so I just put the 5 most well-known. I think I skipped maybe Avatar and one other one. I can't remember what 5 I put up there. But vote for your favorite of those 5. In about a few minutes or so, Russ and I are going to go through our top 5 James Cameron films as well, and have a spirited debate, perhaps.
I think so.
Yeah,
I think so.
Nice. And then let's see. We're also going to be covering 4K announcements from Scream, Criterion, Vinegar Syndrome, and so much more this evening, Russ.
I've been a little out of the loop in the past couple weeks. I'm not going to lie.
Okay.
I feel like some announcements may have slid under the radar.
All right. Well, I'm here.
For me personally.
Well, I'm here to update you.
Yeah, you're here for me, man. That's what friends are for.
I'm just going to imagine.
The good times, the bad times, and the HD 4K announcements. That's what Dionne Warwick taught me.
That is what she taught me as well. And I'm going to imagine that nobody is watching at all. And I'm just talking directly to you.
Safe to assume.
And I'll just talk directly to you. So what is the big news, Russ?
Well, the big news is Rick Moranis signed a contract with Mint Mobile. And it broke my heart.
That you just found out about a few minutes ago.
Suddenly Seymour. I want
to say that was like a Super Bowl commercial or something. I remember it was like kind of a big deal.
Yeah, it is a big deal.
That's what I mean. It was a big deal.
It's such a big deal, I missed it.
The big news I was referring to, Russ, is that the James Cameron 4K titles have come out, and we don't have them.
I was about to say they came out in name only.
They came out in name only. I don't know who out there got these. Let's get a pulse. Who's got them in hand? Which ones did you get? Who is still waiting?
I mean, when the highest, most viewed home physical media channel doesn't even get their hands on, they didn't even give us a copy.
They
How
ran
many
out.
people out there really have them? I mean, I know we're first on their list.
We have to be first on their list. So this just must mean there's just a supply chain failure.
Yeah, James Cameron sends me Christmas cards every year from underwater.
Nice.
That's the address. It just says, from the bottom of the ocean, Merry Christmas, James Cameron.
He's in a submersible pod.
Yeah.
Well, my Abyss, speaking of submersible pods, my Abyss for like 2 weeks, or not 2 weeks, but like for the first couple of days after it was supposed to come out, just said, we'll let you know when it's going to come out. It used to say March 12th, and now it just says no release, no date at this time. I just got an updated date, and now mine's coming at some point between mid-April and mid-May, but they can't commit to any certain day.
My update just said, don't worry about it.
Forget it. I mean, honestly, I know we kind of talked about it and hemmed and hawed a little too about were we going to pick these up at all, because at some point there's probably going to be a really awesome Abyss, a really awesome Aliens, maybe packaging wise outside of just the disc. Yeah. But for the sake of this channel and for the sake of putting a review up, and because I've wanted to see the Abyss in a higher level quality than DVD for like 20 years, I was like, I'm at least going to buy the Abyss. I did not buy True Lies and I did not buy Aliens. I just went for the Abyss. And then it broke my heart when it didn't even show up. And now not only can I not watch it, we can't give a review to the people either.
Mm-hmm. And I echo your thoughts. I mean, to me, James Cameron titles, we're going to get multiple re-releases. So I never felt like this was something I had to jump in day one on anyway. I personally wouldn't pick up True Lies or The Abyss regardless. Aliens, I definitely would, but I'm more than confident that there's going to be a upgraded version with better packaging, as long as the transfer is good, which James Cameron has a history of. Who knows? It could, eye of the beholder and all that, but there's a bit of a troubled history with physical media releases involving Cameron in the past. Also, when you take into consideration Aliens, it's part of a classic franchise. I don't mind the quadrilogy that I own right now. I mean, Scott's original is a masterpiece, just as Cameron's sequel is. I don't mind having those two in a box. So picking up Aliens on its own, I don't know, maybe it's the collector in me, but it doesn't really scratch that itch. Yeah. Especially what I think is, in essence, a standard release. I think they're teasing this. They know that every collector is going to eat this up because they've been clamoring for Cameron for years, and then they're going to double dip and triple dip till the end of physical media.
Well said.
Thank you.
That's all we have for tonight. Thanks for checking us out. Appreciate that. That's our TED Talk on James Cameron's titles.
My heart will go on.
The one thing that's still baffling to me, though, is like when Oppenheimer did this, I was kind of like, okay, that was maybe surprising. Like they probably didn't realize that so many people would want to buy Oppenheimer. Like they probably didn't realize it. And then obviously there's that huge like scarcity of it, and people are spending $200 on eBay. I had to take a second mortgage out to give you that copy for Christmas. I hope you're enjoying it. But it's like, I don't know how they didn't expect that people that have been waiting for years for these movies, True Lies and Abyss specifically, that there wasn't going to be a mad dash to get them. And it's not even like these were huge collector's editions. These are probably in the most basic packaging, the most basic slipcover. You could have made a lot and been fine. So I don't know if it's because they just don't have faith in physical media, or they just grossly underestimated the demand. I don't get it.
I think it's a little bit of both, but I also think it's a testing ground. You know what I mean? To see how far can we double dip this. Oh,
I thought you were going to say how far physical media can still go.
I think
just didn't know if this would change anything.
That as well. I think they're all squandering to figure it out. Disney selling to Sony, as you mentioned, Oppenheimer, and now James Cameron. I think they're all sort of testing waters. I think they realize the writing's on the wall with streaming in terms of it being a lucrative business model. So they're trying to figure out a way to revert backwards, But obviously, this is tech. Nobody's just going to go back to completely. The mass population is not going to go back completely to physical media. But I do think they underestimate the collector's market. And I also think they're starting to realize, whoa, there's real money there rather than the bogus numbers in streaming. And, you know, they're trying to figure out a way to do it both. And I think they are underestimating it. But I think in this case, since they're essentially, I don't want to say bare bones releases, but no bells and whistles, it's a test.
Yeah.
And once they've seen what this does, I guarantee you, come maybe Christmas time, come Father's Day, you know, whatever, some like typical male driven, you know, dad's birthday, Terminator 2 is going to get a special edition.
I can't wait to get my Father's Day copy of The Abyss 20 years from now. Like, my son's going to give it to me. Here, Dad.
You're going to have to fight for it.
Well, that reminds me. I mean, a long story short, we didn't get them, and clearly, I know not a lot of people did. Lindsay, what's the pulse in the chat? How many people kind of didn't get it?
Well, it looks like our biggest problem is that we're not in the UK, because folks in the UK did get them.
Wow.
And quite a few people got it on
the censored version. Wow.
Yeah. I was about to say, they got the import, or did the folks in the UK get? Yeah.
Good question.
The one where Cameron didn't torture an animal.
There was someone that said that they got it from Diabolic, I believe.
Oh, okay.
And I think it already arrived, and then a few people picked it up on the Disney Club, the Disney Movie Club. Is that just like a streaming one?
It's a membership only, where you get Disney Club, which we talked about last time, which is being closed down, is a membership kind of like a Columbia House, some Publishers Clearinghouse.
Ed McMahon shows up,
Columbia
and
House
brings you a copy of Pinocchio.
Yeah, and you just get like rare releases, discounted stuff because it's a membership, and I guess you could get it through that. I didn't know that.
I thought it already closed.
I did too.
I didn't even realize.
How many people have it in hand? How many people have watched it? What are your thoughts? Do you like what you're looking at? I've seen nothing but mixed reviews across the board. I feel like it's really just going to come down to personal taste at this point, because there isn't any, you know, definitive like this sucks, this is great. It's kind of like I see so many comments on both sides of it being too digital versus it being the clearest I've ever seen it and it's beautiful to, you know, like, I don't know.
And I think it's a case of when you anticipate something for so long, there might even be a bit of denial in some fans' heads if it is
like
subpar. No, you know
Like
what I mean?
me.
Like, if you really were waiting for True Lies for 20 years and maybe the transfer is a bit subpar, you may be more hesitant to call it out because you're just happy you finally got it.
Yeah,
you know what
there's
I mean?
nothing but good things to say.
You may be
in
a bit
that way.
biased, because it's like it's.
What else did I have?
Yes, I had nothing before, not
Yeah.
even a Blu-ray.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that could be a factor as well.
And I also wanted to mention, in preparation for these coming out, and which we thought we were going to have in our hands, Russ and I both watched the final James Cameron movie that we had not seen. I watched True Lies, and Russ watched The Abyss. So we are ready to talk about these movies now. We actually have a True Lies review coming up tomorrow. Obviously, we don't have the disc, so we're not really talking too much about the quality. We do mention, we kind of run through general reviews and just things that are being said about it, some screenshots that we found, but essentially it's just a review on the movie. So we finally had a chance to talk about it because Russ has been very passionate about his thoughts, and
it's one of my favorite movies of all time.
And I finally got a chance to see it, to see what is their hype, should there not be, and so I can't wait to share those thoughts. And Russ, you watched The Abyss.
I did. I had never seen The Abyss. I told you, I think I avoided it all my life because of the CGI.
Yeah.
When I get migraines, that's how it starts off with my vision. It's very similar to that water effect of blurred vision.
Yeah.
And even as a kid, I got them. And whenever I'd see that in the trailers, it turned me off completely.
Gotcha.
I just didn't want to watch this.
And you watched the theatrical?
Yes, I did not watch the director's.
Yeah, I didn't. I guess I forgot the director's cut was nearly 3 hours long. It's 2 hours and 50 minutes, whereas the
I think it's like 220.
Yeah, the theatrical is 220. Yeah. So once we're not going to review those until we've seen them and can comment on the entirety of the disc. True Lies, I wasn't going to probably pick up anyway, and Russ wasn't either. So we figured let's just review that and just kind of talk about it in general. But we should have hopefully reviews of The Abyss and Aliens up whenever we get them.
We need to review Commando.
And Commando next.
No, that
doesn't have a 4K. Does that have a 4K? Does Commando?
I'm not sure.
Do we got a 4K of Commando out there? Internet sleuths?
I would have bought it.
You would have bought it?
I would have picked up Commando in 4K. I don't think it exists.
Yeah.
If it does, I missed it.
Gotcha.
And I have to correct that immediately.
Well,
No, because you got me thinking. For our True Lies review that debuts tomorrow, you were talking about the one-liner aspect and Arnold's delivery of the one-liners. And to me, Commando is just like the cream of the crop for Arnold one-liners. You know, it's perfect because he's still, I don't want to say wooden. He always had the charisma, but you know, he's not quite Twins kindergarten cop yet. He's still kind of Conan levels of acting, and he's delivering these lines that are like objectively bad, but they're so bad they circle around to being funny as hell. Yeah. And it's Commando is just, it's an experience, man.
Well, I know Raw Deal came out in 4K, but I don't know about Commando. Correct that. Write that wrong. Write that wrong.
That's the Belushi one?
Yeah, I think.
Cocaine.
Yeah, right? Yeah, that's that one. I don't know. I watched a few clips. I thought that looked hilarious. But what did you get anything in the mail?
Man, I got a ton of stuff. How do you want to do this?
I got a little bit of stuff in the mail. Want to just share what we got in the mail really quick and let us know out there anything new that you may have gotten or picked up. I know there's a lot of people that were excited about Green Room and Possessor coming out. I have a little bit of a story about that too.
I think a lot of people mostly were excited about Dr. Detroit.
What the hell's Dr.
The Dan Aykroyd prostitution romp from the 80s, man.
Shout Select?
Yeah.
What is that new? Or did you just pick that up?
I just picked that up.
Oh, okay.
For those watching, well, it's not even opened yet.
I can see.
I'm kind of going, I'm losing a pet. My cat's passing away, so I'm kind of behind on some stuff, but I haven't popped it in yet. But yeah, dude, Dr. Detroit. I think maybe Cameron got the top news spot of the past couple weeks, but this is definitely number 2. Everyone's clamoring for the Shout Select Blu-ray of Dr. Detroit.
What are you getting on that thing? Is that a collector's edition? What you getting? You get some features on that bad boy? What's Dan Aykroyd? What year is that?
We got a new audio commentary with the director and a pop culture historian, Matt.
Wow.
We got Radio Free Detroit inside the Dr. Detroit audio press kit, featuring rare and vintage interviews.
I know nothing about this movie, but just looking at that cover, I can tell that Dan Aykroyd probably had the time of his life making this movie. This looks like a Dan Aykroyd
Well,
jam.
do you recognize the actress on the right? Or on maybe your left?
No, I don't.
Do you recognize this actress right here?
I don't. Let me look closer.
She used to work at a barbershop.
Is that
in Flushing,
Fran?
Queens.
Is that Fran Drescher?
Yes.
Is it really?
That's why I love
Wow. Lindsay, the producer, is a big Nanny fan.
As am I. As am I.
Yeah,
Watch
I mean,
Dr.
I love
Detroit.
it as well.
Watch Dan Aykroyd be a pimp.
Is she?
Just for her, I will.
Is she a main character?
Kind of. She's in a stable of hoes, man.
Stable of hose.
And
Stable
Dan
of hose.
Aykroyd is a very large stable of hoes.
I could look at his green pants and his yellow jacket.
Okay, so honestly,
Looks like Joker.
Let me just get this all out at once. I participated in the Shout sale, right?
Oh, jeez. So what's that, half off shout sale?
Yeah, I indulged. This is actually going out of print. It was down to I forget what number, but I always had my eye on it, and for the sale to get free shipping, I indulged. I also picked up and have not opened the JFK 4K set.
That looks nice.
Again, when it dropped to that price, I had to, dude. This is just a great,
It's a great, I mean, that set is awesome. I got to revisit that movie.
And I have such an odd history with this film. I saw it once, but I was 11 years old, and I did not understand a damn thing about it. But it held my attention even at 11, and the whole reason was I had just seen Oliver Stone's The Doors, and it blew me away. And I used to watch it all the time because that was a big band to me. So I watched JFK after that, based on it just being Oliver Stone. And I remember just being a kid. It made me feel very weird.
I wasn't ready for that.
I wasn't ready for it at all. But from what I remember of it, I remember, like, as an adult going back on, I'm like, that was probably really excellent, and it was just way over my head. So I'm excited to jump back in. It'll essentially, in many ways, be a first-time watch.
I would say the same thing. That's a movie that was not for me, not at that time. There's no way a movie like that was even going to keep my attention. JFK assassination, like Snooze Fest. I don't even know how old I was, but no chance. But like when we talked about it and all the actors that are in it, and I've matured.
Everyone's in it.
I'd be, and it's a little long though, isn't it? How long are we talking?
Yeah, it's long. I mean, it was
over 3 hours.
Well, when I watched it at 11, it was a 2 VHS rental.
Gotcha.
I remember
Yeah.
it was one of those, so I'd say it's at least 3. I'm
Okay.
not sure off
All
the
right.
top of my head. But to round out my sale pickups from Shout Select, I also got the Mark Harmon classic Summer School on Blu-ray.
Sweet.
Another one that is, as soon as it was announced, I just been watching, waiting for the price to drop because I have the special edition DVD. I have such a soft spot for this movie, though, dude. I adore this flick. Have you ever seen it?
I have.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
adore it. Adore it. Adore it. And then 4K, had to pick it up. It was like $16 at this point. The Last Detail, the classic, what was it, Raffleson? Who did it? Am I wrong on that? Ashby. Jesus Christ. It's Hal Ashby. I was thinking Bob Raffleson. But classic Last Detail with Nicholson, Randy Quaid. Great film. I think you would enjoy this one a lot, Matt. I think if you were to check out an older Nicholson flick that you haven't seen, I think you would like this one a lot.
Is he wearing pants in that picture? What's happening there?
That's a spoiler. You got to watch the movie. The story is that he is a nudist
A nudist sailor?
A nudist sailor who is traveling, taking one man basically to his jail sentence, within the Navy.
Yeah.
But yes, he refuses to wear clothes, and the journey that Nicholson goes on. For instance, when he discovers manscaping, it's fantastic. Somebody should have told him about Pacino's. But yes,
Well,
fantastic flick. And dude, all this stuff together, obviously I got free shipping. I want to say it wasn't much.
Wow,
It
3 movies in
wasn't
a
much.
JFK box set.
Yeah, 4 movies, dude.
Oh yeah, 4 movies.
Don't forget Dr. Detroit.
Yeah, yeah, hell yeah.
That's Dan Aykroyd's. I want to see Dr. Detroit Afterlife. Dr. Detroit Frozen Empire. That's what we really want.
That's what we need.
Yeah.
Well, I still have 5 Easy Pieces on deck based on your recommendation. Should I watch that one next?
Yeah, you can't go wrong with
Early Nicholson.
You can't go wrong at all. No. But
Gotcha.
I'd say Last Detail is a little bit more 5 Easy Pieces. More, this isn't as much of a character study as 5 Easy Pieces is. Last Detail is more of a sort of straightforward narrative plot. You know what I mean? Like a classic film. I'd put Last Detail more in the category of like One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest than I would 5 Easy Pieces.
Gotcha.
Not that they're drastically different,
Yeah.
but more,
Less pants.
less pants.
Let me show you. I mean, I know you got more stuff over there, but let me just cut in with this because I got this.
Well, I hope you have your Sharpie ready because I picked that up too, man.
I got the Zombie Army. It finally came in the mail. It came in pretty early too. I expected this to come out, I think, like a week from now, and I got this almost like a week ago. We're rocking the Zombie Army releases. Who in the chat got yourselves one of these bad boys? And if you did you watch it?
Did you see Matt in the first 5 minutes? It's the first 5 minutes of the movie. He shows up. It's great.
And I am in the credits. My name doesn't say Matt, but I am in the credits.
Matt, I'm serious. Where is a Sharpie? I want you to sign my copy.
I will sign it for you. And this is actually a nice ass sturdy slipcase. Like they really, they went in on this thing. I'm impressed with my movie, Russ.
Lindsay, the producer, is there a Sharpie in the booth?
Oh, we've got lots of Sharpies. I'll bust it out.
Okay, I need this. What was your character's name? I even watched it and I forgot your character's name, man. The movie wasn't that memorable. You were great in it.
Thank you.
You could have worked on the script a bit.
It doesn't.
It's a little dry in spots.
I don't know the guy's name, but
You don't know your character's name?
I don't know.
It was just pure id. You were working with.
Yes.
You were full method.
What's my motivation?
Yes, you're like my motivation.
Sat there.
I want to murder this. I want to push her down the fucking stairs.
It was a boy with a blonde wig who I don't remember really liking too much. It was like the director's son, so I was like, nice. Push this kid. F yeah. I mean, I was 8, but held a grudge.
Yeah, dude, you are totally signing this copy for me.
Yeah, I haven't watched this yet. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a little nervous to watch it for some weird reason. I don't know why. It's not even out of the wrapper yet, but I don't know. Does Lindsay, anybody out there, did they get this? I'm not gonna be sad if you didn't.
No one's piped up today saying they got it.
Okay.
But last chat, people did.
Last chat, people were like, "We got it." Okay. If anyone joins and you saw this, let us know how I did. But I did get the Zombie Army. Thank you, Vinegar Syndrome, for partnering with Saturn's Core to put this out.
Well, Matt, your star-making turn as a child actor actually prompted me to also pick up while I was at Vinegar Syndrome this Prophecy box set of the first 3 films.
Dude,
the Christopher Walken starring prophecy films. Yeah, dude. I'm just gonna hand this to you. Open
This
it
diagonal
up.
box is
That
sick.
box is ridiculous, man.
I've never seen anything like that.
This may be, like I said, I kind of going through some stuff at home right now. I haven't got a chance to pop them in and watch them, but I mean, this could be a contender for a top 5 release of the year. Go open it up.
Yeah, so I'm going to hold up so people can kind of see. I don't know. There's like this. It's like there's like a diagonal opening, and it opens. I don't know, like fling the things everywhere. It's kind of a little tight. There we go. And it comes off like this.
Mm-hmm.
So the lid comes off like this. Wow, that's wild. And then this is like the slip box and slip case that it comes out of. Wow,
Yeah.
dude, that is nice.
It really is.
Who is designing these things over Vinegar Syndrome? They need to do a train spotting update. Like someone needs to get with the program over there.
Give them a raise.
Jeez, this is incredible. Like who even thought that up? Who even thought that through? This is awesome.
And listen, I love The Prophecy. The first one, to me, it's a great film. Kind of one of those late night, you watched it a billion times type of movies, but
wow.
Fun movie. There are so many other films I feel like though that would deserve some great box like this. Like for real, I guarantee you at some point you will get an Aliens or a True Lies.
I am so jealous just of this box. This box is so cool.
It's gonna make you go out and watch the movies now.
I mean,
isn't
seriously,
it?
like this is what my Aliens or Abyss should come in. It's like this is the kind of thing. And I mean, even the title treatment on here, it's like glossy where everything else is matte. Christopher Walken glossy, The Prophecy glossy, just awesome. Vinegar Syndrome, like their packaging is just on fire.
Always.
On fire.
I don't think I've ever been disappointed with any Vinegar Syndrome packaging.
No, and honestly, I was just going to bring up the same thing because when I bought the Zombie Army, I also picked up Sidekicks.
Nice.
Which there's still plenty available. This one wasn't a huge hit for them, but I still really like this movie a lot. And this was a VSU, which they've only put out a handful of these for people that are in the know, and I'm sure a lot of you out there are. They just announced Navy SEALs as their next VSU. We're going to talk about that later. But I picked this up, and I already have Roadhouse, and I opened that, enjoyed it. We talked about it, and kind of has since put it on the shelf. And then when I got this again, it just gave me another opportunity to pay attention to what these VSU boxes are like. Dude, this is, I feel like, probably said this before. If every movie came in this, I would be happy.
Oh, yeah.
Like, this kind of a deal where it's like a box, like a harder outer box. Inside is the movie in a slipcase. The slipcase hard box combo is nice. Like, I know, nothing against Arrow and those kinds of packaging where, like, the outer hard box is almost like the slip in a way, because they don't have a slip when you pull them out. This including of the slip with this is so awesome. It
is.
The booklet that comes in there, great. No art cards, no poster. I'm fine.
There's just something so classy.
And the quality, the material of it is so rich. It's so thick. There's like such a care and detail put into like the raised lettering on sidekicks even. It's just like the attention to detail is insane. And most of the time I'm pleased with like the art choices that they make for some of these. I think this looks really good.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, dude, this kind of a overall package, I would put every kind of movie, any movie that I would buy in something like this.
And honestly, I'm a fan with what they did on that one even more than some of their other ones where it's more of the like fluorescent neon.
Yeah.
God, I like what they did there with Sidekicks. I think a little bit better. Not that I have any issues with my Showgirls or Miami Connection or anything, but I like what they did there. I only have 2 more, man.
All right, Russ.
One's a lightweight one, but I did. It dropped in price because it's after Christmas now, and I figured I'll still get the slip if I do it. I picked up Scrooged. I had to. That Donner commentary just had me intrigued.
Yeah.
I needed to pick it up. So I got Scrooged, and then, of course, maybe the biggest of them all,
You bastard.
Second Sight's Green Room, which is I still, as I said, haven't opened yet. But here you go, Matt. Hold it.
Thanks.
I'll allow you to tell your story of
Of woe.
your traumatic experience.
I always have a story of woe.
You do.
It really sucks. I know there's a lot of people that had commented prior, and a couple of people that hit us up on Instagram earlier saying, hey, like, look at this release that we got. And I knew that Russ had got it, and I knew we were going to bring it up. But Second Sight's Green Room and Possessor dropped, and they kind of dropped. I don't know if they dropped early or whatever. It seemed early to me. Maybe not. But they dropped, and you got yours. I picked mine up on Amazon when I purchased them because I think it was a little bit cheaper to get both of them at the same time rather than just getting one. And I was quoted some like mid-April timeframe, so that's what I was paying attention to. And then all of a sudden, you showed me that you got yours, and I was like, you got yours a month earlier than me?
Yeah, I flew to the UK and picked one up personally.
Yeah, I was like, wow.
I forgot to get you one when I was there. My bad.
Thanks. And I was like, how's that possible? And then I saw all kinds of people posting about how they just got theirs. I'm like, so I'm going to sit here like an asshole and wait a month because I purchased through Amazon? So then you're like, hey, you know, Orbit DVD, which shout out to Orbit DVD. They are, I've never purchased directly from them before. I knew of them, but they are quality establishment.
I never heard about them until I saw the ad that Rick Moranis did at the Super Bowl.
He came out of retirement to rep Orbit's DVD.
And he was with some blonde woman, Orbits. It was weird.
So what I ended up doing, long story short, is going to Orbit DVD. Look, they've had both Green Room and Possessor for sale. Put them in the cart, see what the shipping was, and it was literally $4 more than what I paid at Amazon, and they would get it to me in 3 days.
And you were going to get it in a sturdy box.
Yes.
You are going to get packaging. You're not going to get a mailer shipped overseas.
Yeah.
Which, who knows what's going to happen during transit.
Exactly. And as soon as you said that to me, you were like, oh, I got this, and the packaging was awesome. They did a really great job.
Yeah.
I was like, I know Amazon does not, so I canceled that bad boy right away. And then it's going to be here tomorrow. Both my Green Room and Possessor will be here tomorrow.
Those Nazi punks can fuck off.
Who picked these up? Lindsay, what's going on in the chat out there? Lindsay in the booth. Repping the booth.
I think she fell asleep, man.
No, I didn't fall asleep. I'm still getting used to all these damn buttons.
Got a lot of buttons to push.
No,
Pushing
everyone,
our buttons.
There's a little chatter about James Cameron being from Canada, and perhaps that's why Canada.
Oh, James Cameron being from Canada.
That makes a lot of sense.
Wow.
I don't know why, but it just does.
Wow. Okay. All right, James Cameron, Canada.
Well, guys, thanks for caring about our pickups. Let's go into James Cameron.
Obviously, that's what they want. Those are some great pickups, though, Russ.
Thank you. I went hard.
Dude, that prophecy.
I went hard just for everyone to sit around and talk about James Cameron.
I know. They love James Cameron.
That prophecy set sick.
That prophecy set is awesome. Dude, what a box. What a great box. Vinegar Syndrome, if you're watching, which I know you are, keep up the good work. You have our seal of approval. So before we jump into our James Cameron film ranking, Russ, which I know people are just salivating over, and they want to chime in.
I think we should go over our pickups one more time. That seemed to be a big hit.
Can I see that prophecy one more time?
Let's spend 2 hours with you just gushing over a box.
People who are excited about the boxes, though.
The title of the stream is going to be Matt Talks About a Box and more.
Child actor talks about the prophecy box. 10 million views.
Viral. Oh, God. Let me pull myself together.
James Cameron. He's Canadian. I did not know that. I did not know that.
Before we jump into James Cameron, Russ, this is going to be our last stream until April 10th.
I was not aware of that.
There are some breaks coming up. You're going on a little vacation, aren't you? Perhaps, maybe not.
Perhaps.
We'll see what happens. Yeah. Maybe.
Ironically, to Canada.
To Canada. It's going to be my birthday.
Oh, yeah?
And I'm also going on a family vacation.
I'm sorry.
So I won't be back in town, so we'll have to put the show on ice until April 10th.
Where are you going?
But we're going to Georgia.
Why?
If anyone out there's got any good physical media spots in Georgia, let me know. But while we are on that small break, our True Lies review is going to be going up. We put a video together. There was a few people that were asking for this, and we've been kind of talking about it too, but we'll have a video going up about the titles that we want in 4K, that we need to have in 4K, the ones that are in our collection that we're dying for. In some cases, even just a Blu-ray release, but mainly, where's the 4K? Because this seems like an obvious choice. Like, where is it at?
Well, Scream Factory, they hooked this up because number one on both of our lists was the 1997 Steven Weber, The Shining.
I picked up 2 of those.
We had to go back and edit it out because it was like, damn it, we've been
one.
wanting that for so long. Like Ed Harris, I had to fight for it. Fight! Lindsay, fight! Fight!
It's a little inside Abyss talk for anyone that's watched their Abyss copy lately. I bought a second Shining to flip later on.
I bought a second one just to look at the disc while my other disc is playing.
Always be holding
good.
All right, Russ, let's jump into this goddamn James Cameron film ranking.
Goddamn James Cameron guy.
Let's get that going. Everybody that's out there, Russ and I are going to go through our top 5 James Cameron films. We both maybe have different ones, same ones. We're not sure. We didn't discuss this ahead of time. We're going to be going through our 5th favorite all the way up to our 1st. We went and put that exact question to you all on our community page as well. I'm going to take a look at who, at the end of this, who everyone out there thought was number 1, so we can let the audience decide who the winner is. But as we're talking through, let us know what your top 5 is. Slam our our choices if you want. Disagree, agree. Have some friendly banter. Be kind to James Cameron.
That's right. He's the king of the world.
He is the king of the world. And now that
or it's game over, man.
Or it's game over, man. What was I going to say? Oh.
We were doing a ranking of James Cameron films.
Should we explain what our criteria is? Are we talking about pure enjoyment? Are we talking about from a technical aspect? How are we approaching this top 5? Just so we're clear up front.
Personally, whenever I do this, it ends up being a mixture of both, honestly. And I think with someone like James Cameron, he's such a straightforward filmmaker. There's really little room for interpretation in his movies.
Yeah.
They're very linear. They're very 1 + 1 = 2. I feel like with him, it almost lines up with what his best are with what the fans think.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like is there like a secret gem in James Cameron's catalog that everyone
I don't
is
know.
like, no, that's the one if you're the real Cameron fan? I feel like we all kind of know what the best is.
And I feel like top 5, they're all great. So it's not like number 5 is even bad by any means, unless it's, in your opinion, the abyss.
Well, how are we going to go? How do you want to do this? We start at 5?
Yeah, we'll start at 5. I'll ask you what your 5th is, and we'll throw it up on the screen, and then I'll tell you what my 5th is, and we can agree, disagree, or...
All right, so in the James Cameron pantheon, I'd have to put True Lies at number 5.
Okay, True Lies at number 5. Stick it on down there for you, Russ.
The only Cameron movies I have not seen are Avatar. I've never seen Avatar or Avatar Way of the Water. So there's a possibility they could be better than True Lies. I'm not banking on it. I've never heard anyone put Avatar. I've never once had anyone tell me Avatar is essential viewing outside of maybe if you get to see it in the theater in 3D. As an experience, as a movie, there has never been one person in my life who has said, you gotta watch, you didn't see that, wow, you gotta see that.
Yeah.
Nobody, even a casual fan, nobody. So I'm guessing that it's lesser. Outside of the experience, outside of the technical achievements, I'm guessing as a story, as a film, compared to his other works, it feels lesser. But that's without seeing it.
Yeah, I agree with everything you just said. Like watching it in the theater in 3D in the biggest screen, biggest audio possible, it is a very immersive experience. James Cameron obviously excels in that kind of a world, or sort of all that technical marvel that he can master, just better than anyone. So when you're going to basically like an amusement park ride for 3 hours, it's damn good. But watching it on Disney Plus streaming or something, It's I could take it or leave it, basically. So I agree. That's not in my top 5 at all. That is in my lower 2, outside of the 7 that we're...
What would your number 5 be?
My number 5, Russ, and I'll tell you, maybe this is a bit of a spoiler for our True Lies review, but True Lies also didn't make my top 5.
Oh no! All the True Lies fans out there,
I know, and I don't want to...
They're hitting the bell right now to be notified for our video.
I know, it's a lot of I feel like
it's not all hate.
It's not.
Promise.
No. There's a lot of things that I liked about True Lies, and I, like I said, I didn't want to go too much into that, but for reasons unsaid at this moment, it just doesn't get there for me. And I don't know. Here, let the hate flow. Titanic was more entertaining, or even on that technical aspect, whatever you want to say. It's just a more, I don't know, overwhelming experience, something that's a little bit more to take in than True Lies was for me. True Lies, very entertaining, don't get me wrong. All these movies are great. But for some reason, I feel like I would watch Titanic more than I would go back to watch True Lies.
We're going to have to redo this.
Why?
I completely forgot about Titanic.
What? You forgot about Titanic?
I was thinking we're doing 5 movies. I'm looking at 6 movies up there.
Well,
Shit.
7th is Avatar, and that was my 7th.
I'm going to say this real quick on a live stream. Can we cut a little bit away?
Can we edit? No. Why? What do you need to do? We need some
If we
secret.
clip, are we gonna clip this one?
Oh, I don't know. What do you mean, Russ? We got to roll with it, baby. This is
All
live.
right. We're sorry. We're redoing this. Yeah. See, we don't plan. This is natural.
This is natural. This is what
There's
live
nothing
TV
planned
is all
going on.
about.
Sorry, True Lies is not making my top 5. Get that shit out of here.
Whoa.
For me, you're right. It's Titanic.
Oh, look at that, man. This is a.
I completely forgot. Titanic is number 5. I enjoy Titanic immensely over True Lies.
This is a top 5 with a lot of twists and turns.
It is already. And you guys can get mad at me all you want. I'll tell you one of the greatest joys of Titanic today, because we obviously on this channel we've been covering Cameron for some time. I remember editing and I was kind of like skimming through Titanic. It is such a joy watching these two great actors in like their youth. Like we now have 30 some years of great Leonardo DiCaprio films, great Kate Winslet films. And it's such a joy watching this movie today, seeing this youthful exuberance from them.
Yeah.
And they click. They're great together. And honestly, Cameron, you know, he's more on the technical side. He's more on all that. He needed a strong chemistry. And he got it out of them.
It's a beautiful film to look at, too.
It is.
Yeah.
It actually, like I said, sort of what you said to how the Conan the Barbarian world is big enough for Arnold. I think Cameron finally found a subject in this that was worthy of his immense like scrutiny and dedication. You know what I mean? And he he wisely chose to do just a classic, almost golden age type love story film that's basic so that he could indulge in all of his here's the water flooding, you know, that's like a staple of his and everything. Like he could do what he does and let the heavy lifting leave that to the actors. In a classic story that nobody can misinterpret. It is, man. I'd put it above True Lies. Number 5.
Number 5, Titanic.
Sorry about that mishap.
That's all right. How many people disagree with that? Maybe a lot, maybe a little. What would your 4th place James Cameron pick be then, Russ?
4th, and again, maybe a spoiler for a future video, so I won't go too deep, but 4th, I would put The Abyss.
Okay.
I would put The Abyss as number 4. I technically enjoy Titanic a little more.
Okay.
But I think The Abyss, I'm more impressed. First off, the year it came out, I'm impressed with everything it's done, everything that it achieves. I'm also impressed. I feel like he was kind of going for something deeper, pun intended, almost 2001-ish by the end of the movie. Or maybe, no, you're not actually, you know, it's a good Close Encounters-ish. Okay. And I thought that was interesting to see Cameron do that. But again, he's just more immersed in the subject matter of being underwater.
Yeah, exactly. He loves that.
Just give me a fucking plot so I can be down here.
I want to live underwater for a year. Yes. How do I get there?
That's ultimately what I take away from watching The Abyss.
Yeah.
But nah, dude, it's one of those deals where for the type of film it is, what it is, I mean, he's just... He'll hit a home run every time. This is just, it's like throwing him a softball. This is what Cameron does, and he exceeds at. So, Abyss number 4.
My number 4, Russ, also The Abyss. Wow, we are on the money. I feel like we're gonna break apart in the 3rd, 2nd, and 1st.
I think we're gonna break apart. Yes,
I have a feeling, but looking at what's left essentially, if I get True Lies the hell out of here, if we just move him on out of here, looking at what's left. I mean, looking at my enjoyment of Terminator, Terminator 2, and Aliens against The Abyss, I absolutely love The Abyss, and I'm one of these people that have been waiting for The Abyss. But kind of like you mentioned, it's sort of this like boogeyman of a title that people have been clamoring for so long. That's a big reason for it. Not to say that I enjoy it, like much less or anything else. It's an awesome movie, but I feel like this is the place that it probably lives in my heart amongst these last few.
Yeah. And like I said, I don't want to get too deep in my thoughts, pun intended again. I'm going to save it for our review. But I do think there are some improvements could have been made.
Some improvement could have been made.
I don't think it's top tier Cameron. I don't think it.
I might have a nostalgic I think some of these last ones are going to be more nostalgia driven for me, even though all of them have merit. I think a lot of the where I'm coming from is probably going to be more of a nostalgic period anyway, except for Titanic, because I just saw that for the first time not that long ago.
Yeah. I'm sure it does for me as well, because I know my number one pick, I've probably seen that one the most.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I've definitely seen it the most, actually.
All right, Russell, hit me with your number 3, James Cameron.
This is where we'll probably differ. Maybe not.
Okay.
Terminator 2 is number 3.
Okay.
I'm on record. I have issues with this movie.
Okay. You are on record for that.
I do. I have issues with this movie. I don't like the direction it went in. Mm-hmm. To me, this film does what a lot of other sequels do and get a lot of heat for, is that he basically remade the original Terminator and made it a family-friendly film. He literally turned the Terminator into a hop on one foot, you can't kill anything, big buddy, Iron Giant, robot, friend, and personally, I just didn't like that direction. That being said, even though I disagree with that idea, the execution of that idea is flawless. Like, he did this movie, again, perfectly. No one could do it better. It does work. Everything I'm complaining about, it's just like, it's not the direction I wanted it to go in, but what it did, it works. When I was 10 or whatever, when this came out, it hit me just like it hit everyone, our age.
Do you wish?
It works. I just wish, and the older I get, I see it clearer, and it bugs me. Mm-hmm. It bugs me as I get older. As I watch this movie, I'm like, I just don't feel like, I don't know, man. Like I said, I think it's just more of the idea. I would have wanted to see more grit like the original, more horror, maybe more of a focus on Judgment Day itself, rather than, like I said, it like Return of the Living Dead 2 was more family friendly. RoboCop 2 was more family friendly. Most of the time when this happens, it sucks. Cameron's so good, he made it work, but I still just don't agree with the direction.
Gotcha.
But like I said, I can't complain about it because it is executed flawlessly.
Flawless victory.
Even the thumbs up thing, which the older I get, I cringe more and more over. It works, though. It works. I mean, shit.
Okay. Lindsay, the producer, what's the temperature out there on this so far?
I think a lot of people respect what you're saying, Russ.
There we go. Really?
A lot of people are sharing their rankings, and it looks like Aliens T1 and T2, they're all in the top 3, but in different positions for the most part. And it was funny, as you were saying that, Russ, about it being like a watered-down, family-friendly version. One of our chat participants, David Garsofsky, he said it's basically like an ET MTV version of Terminator 1.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
but
feelings are mutual.
I'll say, You Could Be Mine is a great fucking song. Now we're gonna throw MTV into this cover. I don't even like Guns N' Roses, but like
that song is so fire.
You Could Be Mine is a badass song.
Oh my god,
holy shit,
dude! It's like probably their best song.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, even the idea of like, here's a big studio movie with Guns N' Roses. Like, I don't like that. But like, even You Could Be Mine, I'm like, fuck, they executed that perfectly.
Yeah,
it's like, I don't know, man. I can't, I give it all the credit it deserves, but I also I don't know. You got to admit, for people watching, if this happened in any other franchise, if Predator 2 had a kid walking around being friends with the fucking alien, like, we would all be bitching. But for some reason, Terminator 2, we all just collectively was like, yeah. We all gave him the thumbs up back when he was dying.
Well, I would say 2 things to that. I would say, 1, if James Cameron directed Predator 2,
it'd work.
and 2, if they introduced a equally badass villain to be like an opponent, then it would work.
Robert Patrick is a big reason it works. The whole cast.
Yeah.
I'd go so far to say maybe Arnold's the weakest one in Terminator 2. Dude, Linda Hamilton's kicking fucking ass in this movie.
She is awesome.
She understood the assignment.
Yeah.
Edward Furlong's good in it. I've never had a problem with Edward Furlong in this movie either. The only thing I really had a problem with, the most, is his friend's mullet.
The redhead mullet.
That shit's ugly, man.
It is.
That Cameron should have CGI'd that thing fucking out.
George Lucas'd it.
Let's DNR that. Let's give him.
It's like smudge it so it looks a little less intense.
Yeah. It's like Michael Mann came in and directed for a day. We need a mullet.
Dude, I think I know right now, just in this moment, I know exactly where this is going to go. Like the rest of this tier list, I know, and you'll know where it's going to go the minute I put my third one in there too. Like as soon as I drop my third one in there, you're going to know where it's going to go, and I'm going to know where it's going to go. So and it's weird. Like I don't want to spoil like the rest of this conversation, but basically everything that you said about Terminator 2, about the direction that it went in, I never felt slighted by the direction that it went in any way, but I think the direction that it did go in really did appeal to me for a lot of reasons, more so than it did to you. And that's probably why I enjoy it maybe a little bit more. It
completely appealed to me. I was 10 years old.
Yeah. Just in terms of...
It completely appealed to me. It has nothing, that's what I'm saying. It worked. It's just...
Well, that's why I'm just going to put this one here.
You're a dick. You are a dick.
And that's why I was trying... I was trying to lead into that by saying Terminator is, dude, all of these movies are great. They're all great. When it comes to my enjoyment level, the things I personally like about movies, the things that, whatever, Terminator is awesome, but as we get further up, the other two have more for me than the Terminator does.
And let me say, it's funny, you were talking about nostalgia playing a big part. I think a lot of people in our generation saw Terminator 2 first.
I cannot remember.
It's
likely, but I can't remember.
Anecdotally, I've kind of gathered that over the years when I talk about this, because I've had this opinion for a very long time. I had the original Terminator before Terminator 2 came out as a kid. Mm-hmm. Like I had the VHS. I watched it a lot. It scared the shit out of me. And that's my nostalgia maybe playing in, like what you mentioned.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I didn't see Terminator 2, and that was like my introduction to all this stuff. I was already watching the first one as a kid. So I have an equal amount of nostalgia for the original that I do T2.
Yeah.
So I can kind of judge them equally a little more, I think.
And if I saw the second one first and loved it, then could go back and watch the first one and appreciate how awesome the first one was, then I end up liking both. But because you watched it in the reverse, you messed up on Terminator 2.
I didn't mess up, dude. Trust me. When I was 10 years old, Terminator 2, I would have given it probably a 5 out of 5 when I was 10 years old.
And Terminator, I think it does play a part of what I watched more, what I had access to. Like the Terminator 2 was so huge. You could find that anywhere, VHS, like whatever. Terminator, I feel like I don't know that where would you watch that? Like television, like HBO, like a cable channel?
Yeah.
Like I don't think I ever had that in the house.
It's really funny because it's an interesting thing. I think what happened with me was that probably one of my earliest, I was born in 1982. So probably some of my earliest experiences with Schwarzenegger would have been like Twins.
Yeah.
Kindergarten Cop. And I remember, I was at a store, like a fucking Kmart or something one day, and because I liked Twins and all that, I saw that cover, saw Arnold Schwarzenegger, and my mom bought it for me.
Yeah.
And that's how I started watching it. So yeah, it was a little earlier on. Maybe that's why.
I don't know.
Still, no. You're still a dick. As an adult watching both these movies, Terminator 1 is far superior.
That's the one caveat I will give. I have seen Terminator 2 probably much more and more recent than the original Terminator.
Go, dude. Revisit the original Terminator.
And I already know it's more mature in that way that you're saying. Like in terms of the approach or the material, it's not like...
It's ruthless.
It's not family friendly. Like I guess that's what I mean.
It's about a Terminator.
Yeah. A killer.
Terminator 2, which has Terminator in it. Well, I guess Robert Patrick saves it. Dude, I don't care. As a kid, the fucking scene in the when he first gets back in time, he's just going through the phone book.
Yeah.
For Sarah Connors. Man, when he knocks on that door,
oh, it's intense.
Are you Sarah Connor? Like he fucking kicks it open, like the latch breaks off, and she's like, on the ground. He's just aiming the gun, right, bang, ruthless as fuck, dude. And he shot it. It's a horror movie, man. Mm-hmm. When he goes into the police station, and it's just a fucking bloodbath towards the end. He just kills every motherfucker in there. Even the end, it's relentless, dude. When his skin melts off, just go throw it at one.
I was gonna say,
you already fucking
just
know.
Put it up
you
for you.
Already know.
I'll just stick it there,
dude. When his skin melts off at the end of it, and then the fucking sky still keeps going after him. It's like Jesus Christ. It doesn't let up. You don't feel nothing like that in Terminator 2. As great as Robert Patrick is, Terminator 2 feels more like, and I'm sorry I forget the commenter's name, MTV, spectacle, Hollywood. And that's not bad inherently. It's just, wow, compared to the OG Terminator, it's shit.
Okay, well, I want to give my thoughts, at least a rebuttal. But before I do that, can we just say on the count of 3 what our number 2 is? 1, 2, 3, Aliens.
Piranha. Yeah, Aliens.
Yeah, so Aliens is my number 2, and then Terminator 2 was my number 1. And this is after deep consideration. And what I'm going to say to you is, everything you said about the Terminator, I'm not going to disagree at all. Everything about what you just said, it's incredible, it's amazing, it's ruthless, it's brutal. But I personally, and maybe it is because I saw Terminator 2 first, it's not a matter of, I guess, I can enjoy both things. Like, I can look at this more family-friendly, version that I grew up on, and maybe that's why I have that nostalgia. And I can look at this other one as like a movie that I wouldn't watch with my son right now. It'd be like, holy shit, this thing is like too intense. I love both of those vibes, and I guess it's just a matter of the spectacle that you spoke about in Terminator 2 that Cameron.
Also, I watched it as a kid.
Yeah,
I don't want to.
But for me, it hit a little different.
I know, but we're sitting here kind of going off on it like it's so intense. Like, I'm not saying it's, I spit on your grave or some shit. I mean, it's not like a Serbian film. I think it works for kids too, and I think it works for kids better because it's more. As a kid, when I watched it, it felt more like, wow, like, holy shit. Whereas Terminator 2, even as a kid, I kind of recognized this is a kid's movie.
How did you feel during that 3-minute sex scene? When they're making John Connor,
I jacked off.
It goes on for too long. They really spent some time on that scene. As a kid, I was kind of like,
but it's symbolic. It's part of the plot.
It is. It's very
creating
symbolic.
John Connor.
They needed to go hard.
And Cameron, he's not going to let up. He's going to let you know what the hell's going on in this plot.
Don't let it linger.
He's like, this isn't just a sex scene. Listen, John Connor's being made.
Give it its due.
And I'll admit, being a young kid, when I was piecing together, it blew my mind. I was like, whoa, so the human who went back to protect him was actually the father. And as like a little kid, I thought this was like the most mind-blowing shit in the world. Like, he's a genius.
Yeah.
And then years later, it's like, oh, damn, he ripped off a Twilight Zone episode.
Nice. Well, what's everyone else? I'm assuming I'm getting roasted probably. I don't know. Am I? Is everyone sort of like split?
You might have gotten dragged for a minute.
I got dragged.
I think it's a chat that's very divided.
A divided chat. Let me look and see what they said.
And that's the great thing about Cameron there. There are no real wrong answers once you get to the top 3, I think.
No.
There really aren't. Even my gripes with Terminator 2. Like, I fully accept it's a great film. I fully accept it. I'm not. If I had to watch Terminator 2 right now, I wouldn't be pissed off. Or anything.
I will buy all of them. I will get every. It's like I'm sad that Terminator 2 got the due that it did on physical media, but I don't know. It's just a movie, I guess, that I can't get past my feelings for back then and how amazing and incredible and everything that it was. And not that the Terminator isn't, but I don't think even as a kid, if I did see it, and I know I saw it young. I don't know if I almost probably in my childlike mind looked at it like, wow, this is like an upgrade to this movie.
Oh, of course.
Of course. And now I understand that that's not, I mean, production value maybe, but not like in any other way.
The original Terminator is low budget.
Yeah, very low budget.
Low budget, and then he's playing in the biggest world imaginable. I'd also really quick want to point out another point on my favor.
Yep.
The score is better in the original. The music's better.
Oh, the Brad Fiedel score.
It sounds more synth 80s and all that. It fits the vibe more. It sounds way better than the updated one in T2.
Here's the poll, Russ. You ready to hear what the people said? The people that voted.
I'm a man of the people.
Online, they gave number 1, Aliens.
Fair.
Number 2, Terminator 2. Number 3, Terminator. Number 4, The Abyss. Number 5, True Lies. I didn't throw Titanic in there. I just put these in there. But that's what the people said. I don't know. What was being said about me, Lindsay? What kind of comments?
So vain.
How was I being dragged?
I think you might have lost a couple subscribers.
Oh, I'm sorry, guys. Okay.
No, I think it's all jokes. It's all with love, I think.
We have subs to spare. Don't worry about it.
I know. Well, this is...
Someone did ask if you could get kicked off and replaced with somebody else. No, I think what you were saying, though, Russ, about seeing T2 first, a lot of people did echo that they saw it first. And that was their favorite growing up. Some people said that now as an adult they appreciate T1 more than T2. But yeah, it's the chat.
If I get when I get
and
the
that's what you're saying, and that's what you're saying, and I agree, and I feel the same way. I was blown away by T2 as well. Don't get me wrong. It's just that, yeah, as I've gotten older, and you kind of remove that childhood bias, that nostalgia, and I'm watching both movies, like, wow, one is just superior.
Well, when that 4K eventually comes out, I will watch it, and I will maybe come back and do a retroactive review.
And correct yourself.
I won't. I'll
correct
probably
your
still,
opinion, man.
I'll probably still stay with T2, but I don't know. I'm open to, but this I feel like will still stay where it's at. Maybe Aliens will bump down. I don't know, but I feel like Terminator 2 is stuck. So that's our top 5. It's over.
We really didn't say shit about Aliens, did we?
I know, we skipped right over it. It's an incredible movie too. It's like,
I'll say this,
one of the best action sci-fi movies of all time.
We'll eventually review Aliens, but I will say this. Aliens at number 2 speaks volumes of why The Abyss is at number 4, because I think that ragtag group element of both of those movies works way better in Aliens than it does in The Abyss. There's just way more chemistry in that cast. You know, maybe lacking Bill Paxton was the problem with me with The Abyss. I don't know.
Bill Paxton should have been in The Abyss.
That's his wild card, dude. Even the Bill Paxton stuff in True Lies is number 2 in his best films of all time.
Wow.
No, come on, that stuff's great though. In True Lies.
Oh yeah, he's awesome. Yeah. So that's our top 5. James Cameron. Let us know what you thought about that. Let us know what yours is. Let us know how we're wrong, how we're right, why you had to unsubscribe, roast us. But now we're going to move into some physical media news, Russ. Blue news, I think, is what it's called.
Blue news and reviews.
We're going to start, but before we jump into that, did you want to talk about the 4K Kings Spotify playlist, or did you want to jump into the news?
Yeah, I was going to ask the 2 people out there who like the playlist, what do you guys think? Should I limit myself to just upcoming releases, or should it just be an explosion of songs that Matt and I see as iconic in the cinema world? I don't know. What would y'all want? Would y'all want like Matt and my our favorites, or should I just kind of keep it game like and if The Departed comes out, I'll put on Shipping Up to Boston. Do you want it that way, or do you want it more of our id? Our id,
what's in our mind and our soul,
our hearts.
Yeah, let us know. Let us know if you have how many people are like, what is it, like, subscribed on there to see it, or how many people have
it's on
added it to their.
Thank you for asking, Matt. The playlist is on Spotify.
Yeah, and
if you go there, you just like the playlist, and then you save it and you listen to it.
There you go. You like it, you save it,
world.
You listen to it.
Yeah.
Thank you for being the proprietor of that playlist, Russ.
Yeah, 3 people liked it so far.
3 people. Let's make it a 4th. If you're out there, check that out on Spotify. Let us know what you think should be on there.
Make sure you're subscribed to us on Spotify. Click the bell to get notified of future playlists, and keep supporting robbing artists.
First up tonight, Russ, is Criterion Collection and their June announcements. Getting closer to the half-off sale.
Ooh.
Getting closer. I added To Die For in my half-off sale bin, possibly. I don't know if I will or won't, but I threw it in there.
You should.
LOATHING, 4K, drop that in there. Anatomy of a Fall, drop that in there as well. And maybe we'll have to drop in Bound.
I'll buy Bound.
Bound, coming out June 18th.
I'll buy Bound.
I'll buy Bound from the Wachowskis. And this movie, I kind of forgot where this was on the timeline.
Hold on real quick. Is that how it is? Are they credited as that now on Bound? Because they weren't the Wachowskis at this time.
I don't think they even on the title before like that. Was it just Bound?
I mean, wouldn't it have been the Wachowski brothers? This is 96.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
I've never seen them since, because both of them are trans, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never seen them credited on anything, I think, since I knew that.
Yeah.
Like, I guess, is it being like this now?
I don't know. But that's
not that I'm against it or anything. I have never seen it.
I don't know, and that's what I was going to say when I actually saw this get announced. I forgot where this was in the timeline between Matrix and, whatever.
Before. It's
before, right? Yeah, so, but I don't know how they used to be credited on things, or if they were, they won't. I mean, maybe that is what they do now. But, so I don't know that I even knew what this was until after I watched The Matrix, regardless of it coming out before. And I don't know that I remember seeing the trailer and not really thinking that it was for me at the time, but I feel like I would maybe be interested in going back to see it.
Shit, I was 14. I saw the trailer and I was like, this is for me.
This is for
time
me.
Right now. God damn, I got to rent this one.
Come on, Gina Gershon.
Gina Gershon. Oh, shit.
And Joey Pants.
Yeah. How far are you in The Sopranos? I know you're.
I just started watching. No, not yet.
He's a character.
Oh, okay.
I saw this when it came out.
Did you? What did you think?
It's a good movie.
Yeah?
Honestly.
Do you think it's a good fit for Criterion?
Yes.
Okay.
Especially today. I'm picking this up.
Are you?
Honestly, it's probably my favorite movie by them.
Okay.
It's not that like The Matrix is the best.
Yeah.
But you know me, I've always kind of been. I respect The Matrix more than I fell in love with it.
I'm with you.
Yeah. And I've always enjoyed Bound. I like Jennifer Tilly, dude. I've always been a Jennifer Tilly fan.
Yeah, I can't remember too many movies that I know her. I mean, I know of movies that she's in, but not a lot that I've like really watched and said like, oh, she was really great in that. I don't know.
Well, have
what
you
am I
seen
missing?
Liar Liar?
I haven't.
It sucks. But I mean, she was in that. That was
I haven't seen it.
That was just the most random film I could think of with her in it off the top of my head. She starred with Redman in Seed of Chucky.
Redman?
The famous rapper.
Redman?
Mr. Redman.
Well, Russ, I'll have you know that this movie is getting a 4K restoration supervised by the cinematographer, Bill Pope. He's coming back to supervise this bad boy. They're giving you one new video essay. There's 6 interviews and a commentary on here, but they were previously on some other like DVD or Blu-ray that had come out from some company called Olive. Olive something. So it kind of reminds me of To Die For in a way, like the smaller amount of features for probably like a smaller film.
That's a good, and like Dogma. They're getting these weird. I swear, it's like they're rating my childhood.
And this art, I mean, I know the poster is kind of very similar to that. I don't know what that bubbling stuff is at the bottom.
I like this art.
It's pretty cool.
I like this art a lot. Yeah, I know it's not the original.
Is it paint that's like spilled? That's what it is?
I have no fucking idea.
Yeah, that's what it is.
The original artwork for this was never like incredibly inspired.
It's just them two kissing, isn't it, in the original art too?
The one I always had, it was like, it had like the white border and it was both of them, just like their faces.
Any fans of this film out there? Anybody picking this up? I'm going to assume this is not a blind buy.
For you?
For me.
No, I wouldn't recommend anyone blind buy. I'd recommend people watching it. It's a good movie.
And then decide. This isn't like a must.
See, I don't recommend blind buy. If a movie isn't straightforward enough, I don't recommend blind buying.
Yeah.
It'd be like, you know what, I put this, it's nothing. This and Memento are kind of like in my head as similar. Not that this goes, you know.
The Joey Pants element.
That's why.
He's got like a bad wig or bad like toupee.
They should have cast Joey Pants in The Last Detail. Then that whole nudity aspect would have been taken care of. No. But like, you know what I mean? In terms of just the way it looks and feels to me. I don't know. I always did. And just like Memento, I enjoy both a lot.
Okay.
They're not like my favorite movie of all time or anything.
Right.
Enough to pick up though.
Okay. Anybody else out there picking up Bound? Lindsay, the producer, are we getting any Bound love?
Just one person so far said that that it's so good and that Jennifer Tilly is irresistible.
Irresistible, Jennifer Tilly.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, irresistible. Okay.
She is.
All right. Well, maybe when this comes out, Russ, if you pick this up, let me borrow it. And this is it's a 4K. That's right. This isn't a Blu-ray. It's a 4K. Another one that's coming out is Blue Velvet in 4K. Now, I know you have this on Blu-ray already, and this is coming out June 25th, and this was from Criterion also. And it's basically an identical release that you already have, except this now has the 4K restoration supervised by David Lynch himself.
Watch, we're going to get some Train Spotting packaging then.
I know. What do you think, dude? This was
David
a digipack, isn't it? Originally.
It's a thin digipack. Yeah.
What are they going to do, Russ?
It's going to be some Train Spotting shit again.
Oh, no. Oh, no. I haven't seen this movie, and I've seen, which oddly enough, I've seen all of his like esoteric shit, but I think you told me this is pretty straightforward.
Pretty much.
Didn't you tell me this is the most straightforward film?
Yes. This is easily, in my opinion, his most straightforward film.
Yeah.
This and Wild at Heart, but even this is more straightforward than Wild at Heart. because you can follow. There's a plot here you can follow. It's not like Mulholland Drive where you're kind of everything is. You're kind of an analogy, or you're placing what it is.
It's a puzzle.
This is literally two kids find an ear and then kind of
meet Dennis Hopper.
Basically, yes. They kind of Kyle MacLachlan becomes intrigued by it. It leads him to this singer Isabella Rossellini, who is in a relationship with a sadist Dennis Hopper, and then they get intertwined and shenanigans ensue.
Every clip I've ever seen of Dennis Hopper is awesome,
to say the least.
Is there a lot more than just the handful I've seen? I've seen it a lot.
He comes in, I'd say about maybe like half hour into the movie.
Okay.
He's a big plot point. Yes, a big good chunk of the movie is him, but not in the first half hour or so.
Gotcha.
Every other word is fuck. He's insane.
Didn't you tell me that David Lynch doesn't even like profanity and doesn't cuss
at all?
And even when he was giving direction, he didn't use the words to explain it to him.
And even if you ever just seen a clip of Blue Velvet, don't look at me, you fucking fuck.
Yeah.
Squeeze your nipples, shit like that. And it's like, a guy who's not cussing. Like, how did you direct this? And then I'm sure there was no direction. I'm sure they just let Dennis Hopper be himself.
Dennis, just go for it.
Nah, it is a hard watch. I'll say that.
It's hard.
If you're somebody who is going to be easily offended by certain, if you're trigger, why the fuck are we? Shut up, Russ.
Shut up. What are you saying, Russ? Shut up.
Watch this movie.
Watch this movie. Don't be. Yeah, everyone deserves to watch this movie.
Everyone deserves to get offended by things like.
I want to be offended. I want to feel something. So what do you think? Should I? I'm not saying blind buy, but you recommend this movie to me?
Watching it?
Yeah. Do you think?
Fuck yeah.
I mean, do you think I would appreciate it in what I know and like about
I
David
definitely
Lynch?
think like before. Okay, Blue Velvet is an entry point for anyone who's never seen a David Lynch film. I would say watch Blue Velvet first.
I went on hard mode. I went hard. I went Lost Highway, I think, first.
Oh yeah.
And then Mulholland Drive.
I would say if you're going to dive into David Lynch, as far as the straightforward, I'm sorry, Elephant Man is probably a little more straightforward but Elephant Man is also way more harrowing and depressing. But yeah, I would say if you're jumping into David Lynch, Blue Velvet or Elephant Man. Blue Velvet, if you want more of a unhinged Dennis Hopper, which who doesn't want that, right? Yeah. 80s Dennis Hopper was incredible, man.
Dude,
he had a whole string of like, what the fuck were you on during the Texas Chainsaw 2, Blue Velvet, River's Edge? They were all made around the same time, and like all three movies, he is insane in them. Like insane.
He found a niche.
Dude, in River's Edge, he's dating a blow-up doll. You know what I mean? I'm serious. He's like having conversations with her and shit. He sells weed and he has he's got his chick. Living the good life.
Well, I will say there is a ton of footage and extra features on here, all kinds of interviews and documentaries making of the film, like all kinds of stuff is on here, which you already have, and I'm sure it's already super robust. So if you've never bought this, now's the time, and you always wanted to. Half off sale is only a month away from the time when this gets released, so you're close.
I know. I'm surprised this film isn't more controversial.
Really?
Today, yeah.
I don't know anything about it.
Well, I'll tell you, if you need to know anything about this film, go and look up Roger Ebert's review, like from the show, from Siskel and Ebert, not like a written review. And wow, Ebert lost his shit over this movie.
Really?
Because of the way Isabella Rossellini's character is treated. Like, there's a lot of abuse that goes on in this film. And Siskel was sitting there like, Roger, you dumb fuck, it's fiction. That's basically what he's trying to.
Yeah.
Roger, they weren't doing that to that. She's an actress. She signed up for it. But Ebert, he was like, nah, this is too far. He couldn't fucking take it. He's like, I can't do this one.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So we recommend it to the people?
Well, if you take my recommendation, think about that you had Roger Ebert sitting there who couldn't even distinguish acting in real life, and he's a film critic. He was that offended by some of the stuff in it. So that's what I'd give. Okay.
Maybe on the lighter side then, moving right along for Criterion, Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas for the third time.
Well, Roger Ebert said that when Gary Busey arrived on set for his role, he just couldn't take it. He couldn't distinguish what the abuse that he put Johnny Depp through. No.
Fear and Loathing.
I already own it.
I know, June 4th, out for the third time. Previously Blue from Criterion, but it's been on 4K from Arrow and then Turbine in Germany. I wonder how many people were waiting on this one to buy this in 4K, or did anyone like cave and buy the other two, or is someone going to buy all three of these? Because honestly, the shitty thing about it is all three of them have great features, but not one of them has them all. And it's like, like some have like different documentaries than others. It's kind of like if you want it all, you have to buy it all. But I don't know what what people were waiting for, or if they just already caved.
Did Criterion put out any new features on this?
No, it's the same kind of.
So I'm good.
Yeah, it's the same kind of copy paste like job as they kind of do lately, where they're just giving you the 4K upgrade.
And I have this on Blu-ray, and I imported the Arrow 4K, so I'm good.
Yeah, and I wonder who will have the better transfer amongst the three, the Turbine, the Arrow, or the Criterion.
Hold on, let's check in the booth. Lindsay, the producer, did you pre-order Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas?
Russ, I don't like this movie at all.
Comment section. Get her.
Yeah, come get me. I'm not the one with the channel.
Yeah.
I'm just here helping.
Well, yeah, I mean, this, again, I don't know, like, how many people, like I said, waited to get this, but it has been announced from Criterion in 4K, all the same features. Maybe no one's bought any of these, and now this is the one that you wanted to get. Well, here it is for all the fans. I'll be passing on this again. But nonetheless, one of the
it's nostalgia.
I
watched this a lot as a kid.
It understands me.
When I was 8, I thought it was brilliant.
There's a lot of other titles that were announced from Criterion this month, but there was one other one that really caught my eye, and I think also caught a lot of other people's eyes too, just in terms of what the artwork is. And I wanted to share that as well. And I don't know if I'm going to pronounce the name right, but it's a movie called QUERELLE. Querelle, I think is it. Maybe it's a French word. I'm not sure. But when I saw this cover, I was like, what am I looking at? Like, what is this movie? And when I went down to like the comments section just to kind of see like what people might be saying about it, just to like give any kind of an explanation, it was all like, what is this artwork? This looks like an AI like thing, or
like
some
a Mr.
sort of
Clean commercial.
Yeah, it's like people just didn't know what to make of it, and I kind of was feeling the same way. It kind of, I don't know, it's very like provocative or evocative or something. Like it's just kind of an odd look, but I guess it's some sort of like 3D art that whoever they hired to do it is, I don't know if it's AI assisted or whatever, but it's just a really interesting looking cover. And I had never heard of it, but I have heard of Rainer Fassbinder. Binder? Give it to me, Russ. Give me one.
Fassbinder.
Thank you.
It's Fassbinder. It's
Thank you.
That's how Ed Harris, but it's Rainier or whatever.
Now, I had to at least take a look. And the other thing that I thought was kind of cool about this art,
at least take a look.
look at how that Q.
At the very least, I'm looking at this. Whoa!
Look at how that Q goes through the Criterion logo. I thought that was kind of cool. I didn't
even notice.
They just kind of fit it right in there. It looks kind of cool.
A lot of stuff going on. Who's paying attention to that?
Now, what I will say is,
I'm challenged in my manhood.
No diss to Brad Davis, the guy who's in the movie, but they really did him a lot of favors on this cover. I mean, look at this guy compared to what they did on this cover.
Brad, have you been working out?
I mean, look at him. He's like glistening, gigantic muscles, and if you look at this guy, that kind of looks like me without a shirt on.
I'd be pissed off if I was Brad Davis. They just went and threw fucking Chris Hemsworth on the cover.
Exactly. I mean, they're really like, yeah, you're gonna like get this movie and be like, what am I gonna watch? And you see this guy, I'd be disappointed. Look at this jacked hunk on the cover.
For real, just picture yourself being Brad Davis perusing 4K bluray.com, and you come around this shit.
You're like, they finally put my film out again? Wow, awesome. What's this cover? What have they done to me? I mean, okay, actually, I'm pretty flattered. And what I will also say is they actually are bringing a lot of like features back for this thing. It sounds like it's kind of like a...
There's an interview with the robot that created this cover.
Yeah, I program. ChatGPT's on here. So this is just a Blu-ray, but there's new interviews, some documentary about Rainer Fassbinder, trailers. There's a lot of stuff on here. Lindsay, in the booth.
This I will buy.
Has anyone seen this movie? Does anyone know what this is? I read the synopsis and it sounds kind of, I mean, I'm honestly kind of interesting. Like this guy's, I guess, sort of like a psychotic like sailor that comes into a port town and he, starts to kind of like it says something like raise arousal, raise suspicion, raise this, whatever. So it kind of sounds like it might be like a, I don't know, dare I say thriller, Querelle? I don't know.
Give it a shot. Hey, this cover art worked, Matt. You're about to watch it.
Dude, who's picking this up? This really is. And there was a lot of divisive comments about it just because it was so, like, people were like, I don't know what this cover is. This is the strangest thing Criterion's ever done, like, yada, yada, yada. But a lot of people were like, I think it's brilliant. But I had no idea what I was looking at because I'd never even heard of this movie.
Yeah, I think I'd have a stronger opinion if it was a title I was more familiar with. Right now, it's just odd. Very odd. Right
there. Brad Davis, Franco Nero, and Laurent Millet. And don't forget Jean Moreau.
And maybe a part of me is thinking, is this something, maybe a reference to something in the movie? You know what I mean? Like,
it could be.
I have no idea. It's hard for me to have an opinion on this beyond just, wow, that's a jarring cover.
Based on the novel by Jean Genet. Well, Lindsay, any thoughts on Querelle before we move on to Scream Factory? I got to know, does anyone have any opinion?
I thought
Give me
this
what you
was
think.
released by Scream Factory.
Yeah, we have one person in the chat, Rose, saying that this movie, this artwork fits the movie because the movie is erotic and pornographic.
Okay.
So it's a proper fit.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's what I was.
It's giving me that
like,
impression looking at this man.
I don't think Criterion's that stupid.
Thirsty.
That thirsty. Yes, I don't think they just do this for no fucking reason. I mean,
like, let me jack this man up. Let me puff him up a little bit too.
Yeah.
They dumbed down his hairy chest a little too.
It'd be like they're putting out To Die For, and on the cover they put the part where Nicole Kidman's in her bra and panties or something. Like, it'd be like, Criterion, I think you have more taste and class.
More class.
More tact than that. So I was assuming it had something to do with the film itself.
Querelle. Well, it definitely got my attention. I got to check a trailer out or something. That's the news for Criterion. We're going to move on to Scream Factory. Anything going on out there in the chat before we move forward, Lindsay? Any questions? Any interesting comments or thoughts?
Doesn't even have to be movie related. Matt is always dying to get into political discourse with people.
Oh, please.
Guess not. So let's go to Scream Factory.
Moving on to Scream Factory. Let me see here. Let's pull it up. Jamie, pull that up. Oh, wrong thing. Hold on 1 second. There we go. So moving on to Scream Factory, Shout Factory, some titles that they're putting out. A title that I think I'm surprised hasn't come out already, based on Scream Factory's track record, but that's Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
You sure this isn't Criterion still?
We've moved on to Scream Factory, and this is their May slate. 35th anniversary. Wow. 35th anniversary, out May 14th, previously released by Scream Factory and Arrow in the UK.
Yes.
Which ones do you own? I don't own any of these.
I own the Arrow one.
You got the Arrow one? And this is...
No, I own the Arrow. Yeah.
I'm considering this. I've never bought this before. It is a movie that I watched a ton of times growing up. And
Same.
Scream Factory is really trying to milk this like it's a cash cow, and I was going to say I know that it is, and that's why I think they're giving you every last option you can imagine.
I've indulged already.
Oh, I can't wait to hear what you got. Don't say it yet. Now,
because it's going to go quick.
It's going to go quick. They're again, Scream's been getting a lot of flack for not innovating or not breaking any new titles, kind of going back and just kind of revisiting their old catalog.
Fuck? We just got Steven Weber's The Shining.
They did just break that one.
I swear, people are too negative.
But they know that you love this, and they know that you're going to buy it, and that's why I said it's pretty evident based on all the options, which is what I feel like is kind of the norm, where they just kind of overwhelm you with all these different trinkets and baubles to, so you're basically enticed to rebuy these again. You can buy the regular ones without all of it.
And this is the title. They're gonna do that. You're gonna get figures, Christmas ornaments, dildos, everything, man. It's insane. Well,
we're gonna start with this. This is what the regular one looks like. Then you're also gonna get a steelbook, and that's what this one looks like. Oh, it's pink everywhere. And it basically, there's a combination of this and the regular one in every which way you can imagine, with stickers, pins, and posters and alternate slipcovers, all the way until you get the final granddaddy of them all, which is this, which is the Steelbook and the regular, an alternate slipcase, 3 posters, a prism sticker, which I love, by the way, enamel pins, lobby cards, and this one right here is $175. It's a $25 savings. It's going to be $200 if you kind of wait on it. But again, they've got different combinations of anything you could possibly want with all of these different things.
I went with the $700 edition one.
What did that include? One of the clowns?
Yes.
You get to bring a clown
a
home?
life-size cotton candy cocoon
Nice.
that I can sleep in.
Yeah. So I guess you're excited about this since you already picked something up, or just because you know it's going to sell out?
No, I'm excited about this. I'm like you, dude. I watched this. This is one of those movies like I don't even remember voluntarily watching.
Yeah.
But Jesus Christ, I saw it so much as a kid. And it was one of those perfect movies where it kind of creeped you out as a little kid, but you also recognized it was completely ridiculous.
Yes.
So it's a great first horror film.
I agree.
It hit right at a year where we were the perfect age to see it. It was on TV all the time. It's a staple.
It is.
It's a classic. It's a cult classic at this point.
And where they nailed it to is, well, this is obvious, but if they portrayed these clowns as like real people, like real clowns, where people are actually in real life scared of clowns, this movie would have a whole different tone. But because it would be terrifying, but because they make them like weird and ridiculous looking and like melted it makes them terrifying, but still silly at the same time.
I mean, I vividly remember like being 7 or 8 years old, and the scene kind of being not scared. I was never somebody who really got scared of movies. I was always the kind of kid I would just get creeped out.
Yeah,
but I would still keep watching.
Yeah,
I wasn't somebody who would like turn it off. And I remember being like creeped out. You remember the scene where they're like at a bus stop or some shit, and like I was creeped out by the way the clown looked, and then it turns into the shadow puppet thing.
Oh yeah, that's awesome.
It is, but by it got to that whole point, like even as a kid, it felt safe again. It felt like, that's stupid. It's a shadow that just ate the guy, and that's where this movie's really fun at, where it's this borderline. It's creeping you out, but it's fun, And as I said, as a physical media collector, I mean, this is up our alley. It's going to go quick. I just went with the Steelbook, which comes with the prism sticker you're enamored with.
I do like those prism stickers. Are awesome.
So I just pre-ordered the Steel. I'm not spending $200 on Killer Clowns. You're out of your mind.
What do you think about? So I think I might just get the original one with the slipcase. But what do you think about that alternate slip that they offer? I think that's like New Art or something. I know they offer like new slips sometimes. Does that bother you? Do you like that? Not
it doesn't bother me at all because again, this is a title you see multiple T-shirts of, multiple memorabilia covers. Like to me, if I said to you, what is the iconic artwork for Killer Clowns, I don't even have a definitive one in my head.
Yeah, just that one where you spin in the earth, I think is.
And even that,
I remember.
Honestly, I remember seeing this more on cable TV than
all the time
in video stores.
Yeah.
Like honestly, that artwork isn't that iconic to me at all. This is one of those ones where it was the TV staple.
How often does Scream Factory have sales? Because there's a few titles that I haven't pulled the trigger on, and I feel like
they just had the Shout sale.
But did that cover Scream Factory titles too?
Oh, you're right. Yeah,
like is it a Shocktober or something they do?
They do that.
Because I want to pick up the Blob. I'd like to pick this up. But I would be interested in waiting for whenever they do their next sale. But how is everybody feeling about Scream Factory these days? I do see a lot of flack that they get in general, not just for we kind of talk about their titles a little bit, but a lot of people I see posting all the time about the quality of the disc coming scratch, the packaging not being great, or I don't know if it's the shipping or if it's the actual their quality of their materials,
bacteria
or what.
Inside of the case,
things like that, mildew.
You think you'd iron out before
shipping
dealing with customers. Yeah. No, I mean, dude, they're just spinning their wheels.
Yeah,
in my opinion, they have nothing to offer,
That's sad.
So they're just
Why?
spinning their wheels.
Why are they spinning? Why can't we get some new great gets?
Steven Weber's The Shining.
Sorry,
broken record.
No, sorry.
Genre-defining classic.
Genre.
Not even Stephen King's The Shining. Steven Weber's The Shining.
Genre-defining. Oh my gosh.
Caught Jack Nicholson. I mean, come on, man.
I know.
Come on.
I was excited to see this come out finally. I've been waiting. And I think, honestly, I will also say, when we talked about Point Break, we kind of razzed the Steelbook a little bit. Not saying that it was horrible, but I think you mentioned something saying it looked like it
looked like a tattoo.
A tattoo or like a graphic novel, something.
Yeah.
And the actual artist commented on that post or on our video and said, "Hey, this is like I made this art. I had a really great time doing it. They gave me all this creative freedom, blah blah blah." And then he said that I also have a Killer Clowns coming out soon. And I said, oh crap, do you know who that's for? And he's like, oh, I should probably not say, much more, but look forward to that.
Well,
it's obviously this guy.
Shout and scream.
Yeah. So I believe this is that same, I
forget
his name.
Happened.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
That.
Yeah. It is a cool steelbook.
You know what I will say? One thing I've only ordered one of these deluxe packages from Scream. Yeah. Right. I wasn't really a fan.
No.
Like this looks like a lot of stuff, but it really is just that little black case there on the bottom left-hand side.
Right.
I did it with Escape from New York because that's my favorite John Carpenter film. And I'm not upset that I got it. I actually got it on a sale. It was great. I got 50% off and it was still available. But like ultimately all this stuff that it comes with, I ended up just putting it in a closet, you know, and then Escape from New York's on my shelf.
Creepshow, you gave me the sticker and the extra slipcase.
I did and
poster
because that original, you know how you said Fright Night is like one of your favorite. Yeah. To me, Creepshow is that original Creepshow VHS. I fucking love that so much as a kid, and I wanted that art. I wanted the original. I didn't care, and it wasn't bad or anything either. It was just dude, you can have it because. Yeah, and that's what I mean. Like what this stuff comes in, like that black case. At least my Escape from New York one, it's awkwardly sized. You can't really display it. It's not really anything to display. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's just a weird, I don't know. I think the price, especially what they're asking, I think they're kind of out of their minds.
I like these pins this time around. I think those are nice.
And don't get me wrong, for a title like this, it'll sell. But I mean, when they do it for everything, and like I said, Escape from New York is my favorite Carpenter, and even I just felt kind of
The Fog.
Did they do it for The Fog?
Yeah, they did a ton of editions. I want to know.
Nothing wrong with The Fog, but I'm just saying,
Adrian Barbeau statue. What about out there? Is there a lot of love for Killer Clowns in the chat? Are people excited about this one?
No, that's a negative.
That's a negative. No one cares about Killer Clowns. It's just two dudes.
If they care, they're not saying they
hanging out, talking about clowns, Russ.
All right, what are you guys talking about?
All right, well, if that's not going to knock your socks off, if that's not going to
we'll go.
Taking a nap.
If that's not going to knock your socks off, then let's talk about what
Tuesdays are not our day, man.
Let's talk about what new title Scream is putting out, Russ. They've got some new licenses. Do you want to know what they got?
Steven Weber's Pet Sematary?
It's not. It's the extremely sought after, clamored for release of. Sorry, that's not it. Those are the features for Killer Clowns, which, by the way, there is a lot of. The release that everyone's clamoring for. The collector's edition of The Island of Dr. Moreau.
I'm not going to lie. I kind of am.
A new release for Scream Factory.
Yeah. And wait, go through the features. Does it have that documentary on here?
So let's slow roll it a little, Russ. Jeez, come on. We just put it up here. Let's let that wash over the people that now we finally are talking about something they want to hear about. No Killer Clowns. Now we're talking about weird islands with animal people that live there. May 21st, Blu-ray, not 4K, Russ. Scream Factory Collector's Edition, released on a Blu-ray from Warner Brothers, and this legendary film, Russ, is coming with both the theatrical and director's cuts in a new 2K restoration, plus a new feature on the creature effects and a previously making of, which could be fascinating. Is that what you're talking about, that featurette making of The Island of Dr. Moreau?
Absolutely not.
Well, then it doesn't come with what you want.
There was a whole feature, like a film, made about the making of this movie. Do you know anything about the making of this movie?
I know that it's a disaster.
It's fucking insane, dude.
Yeah, and I was Brando is just like at his wit's end.
No, he don't care. He's not at his wit's end. He's intentionally fucking. Val Kilmer is too. They fired the director. The director hung out on set in makeup as one of the creatures for the entire shoot afterwards. Like, dude, every story on this set is incredible. The little person that Brando has, his idea, stupid wearing the bucket on his head and all that shit, but they can't tell Marlon Brando no. Val Kilmer is being an asshole about, dude. This documentary was great. I'd buy that documentary on 4K.
And so are you going to buy this movie?
No, and I've seen this movie. I actually saw it in the theater.
Any crickets? Funny. What about in the chat? Crickets? Anyone excited about this?
To be determined.
To be determined.
Are we doing a live stream?
I don't even know.
There are people here.
No, but
plus people in the chat.
All right, dude, we'll just talk amongst ourselves.
The making of this movie is insane, though. And
I've never seen it. I just know that it was a disaster.
I mean, I saw it when it came out, and I was young. I couldn't even probably determine if it was good or bad. But it's knowing everything watching it is incredible. It's so entertaining if you know that stuff. And if they put out some kind of special edition that featured that documentary with it, I would consider buying it, because to me, this movie is one of the greatest what the fuck you know, kind of Hollywood moments.
I think you're right. The documentary about the making of is probably better than watching the movie.
Dude, it was. I haven't seen it in like 15 years, but I
Maybe it's on
remember
YouTube.
so much of it. I'm sure it is.
But it's not on here.
I mean, it was released, I believe, like on DVD. I forget what it was called.
Well, maybe this will be a new wave of Island of Dr. Moreau releases coming out, and some other person will pick it up, and they'll put that out there for you.
Yeah. We need a commentary with that little person.
I need a steelbook. I'll tell you one more, Russ. I don't know if there's any love for that film out there, but let's see if there's any love for this film. Another big first for Scream Factory. They're really picking up some good ones here, Russ. This is the next one. Are you ready for this?
Steven Weber's It.
Wes Craven's Dracula 2000.
You know what's funny? I actually...
You already pre-ordered it? Is that what it is?
And clarify. Hold on. Put some respect on my boy's name.
I know you love Wes Craven so much.
He didn't direct this.
Well, he presents it.
Yeah, so
He's
come
presenting.
on. And we know that's just some bullshit money, you know.
Who directed it?
That's like treating John Carpenter's Body Bags as like part of his filmography with Halloween.
He's
and all
presenting.
Yeah, he's a part of it. Whatever. Trainspotting's your favorite movie.
I
That's Sick
see.
Boy
I
right
know
there,
he's right
dude.
there. And Omar.
And
Epps.
you love Juice.
Juice.
Yes.
I know. Look at him.
Nah, I ain't gonna lie though. I actually attempted watching this a couple months ago.
Did you?
Yeah.
And
Oh, I turned it off.
it was that bad.
Yeah. I'm not, dude. All right, we're gonna get. All right, little. Fucking Jennifer Esposito is gorgeous, man.
Jennifer Esposito.
Summer Sam. She's Ruby.
Oh yeah.
She has a small role in He Got Game. She's in a bunch of stuff. But yeah, Ruby and Summer Sam.
Yeah,
She's in this. And that's what kind of pushed me over the edge. You know, Wes Craven. I'm like, I like her. Fucking Sick Boy. And it was and
Q.
Omar Epps. You're right. Yeah, I like that.
Don't forget about Q. Mm-hmm.
Q.
That's his name from Juice. Q.
Oh yeah, fuck.
God, Russ.
Yeah,
We got to be on the same.
I
We're
think
not
Bishop-
on the same
whenever I-
Juice wavelength.
Whenever I think Juice Bishop is.
Well,
the
his
first
name is Q.
I know.
Look, you remember Bishop? Because that's the only name you remember from the movie? No, it's Q.
Look, I don't give a fuck about Q. I don't give a fuck about. I forget all their names. I can't do it.
Steel.
I don't give a fuck about Steel. I don't give a fuck about myself.
Raheem.
Because I know I ain't shit. And I determine if you're going to be shit.
And I know Dracula 2000 ain't shit. Oh my God.
Nah, it's fucking terrible.
That is
dude.
terrible.
It wasn't even enjoyable on like a so bad it's good. You know, I enjoy rides like that. But it wasn't. Oh God, yeah.
And then
I must have turned it off way
Dude,
before this shit.
Did you know that Gerard Butler is Dracula?
That's Gerard Butler?
Yes. Look at him here.
No way. That's not
Yes,
Gerard
that's
Butler.
Gerard Butler. He plays Dracula in this movie. He's
tell
one of
you
the main
what.
credits. I was like, oh, who is he in it? And then it's like this guy.
I tell you what, that's better than Skarsgård as the Crow. I'd accept that as the Crow over him.
Look at him there. That was before he was Sparta.
Holy shit. Jim Morrison Butler.
Yeah, dude, look at him there. But dude, this movie's coming with, even though it's Blu-ray, it's coming with a new 4K restoration and some new featurettes as well. Like, it's actually getting some love, this movie. And Gerard Butler. I don't think he's coming back, but
Oh man.
but yeah, so Wes Craven's Dracula 2000. Any love for this? Is this another swing and a miss?
The comment section went wild on Dracula 2000. They didn't give a fuck about Blue Velvet or anything.
No, I can't believe Gerard Butler's
New Metal
Dracula.
Ricky says it deserves your respect.
Does it?
New Metal, hold on. New Metal Ricky, I'm speaking directly to you. I love your comments. You have a good head on your shoulders. I've heard you reference other things that I agree with. Really? This one, what did I miss in the 20 minutes I attempted? Because this one was not it, man.
What did we miss, New Metal?
What you gotta fill me in? They left. they saw us disrespecting Dracula.
They're like, no.
They were like, fuck these guys.
Sarah would like to know if Gerard has a Scottish Dracula accent.
What? Yeah, I'd love to hear him talk in this. Oh
I'm
my
just
God, it's
picturing
probably
him sounding
awesome.
like Danzig. Looking at this, that's what I picture his voice being.
Kind of looks like maybe he should be in Lost Boys. Like, I don't know.
Some Jason Patrick vibes.
Jason Patrick?
You know, Lost Boys. Joel Schumacher was sitting around, just make everything the Doors. Jason Patrick, act like Jim Morrison. Hang up this poster here. Let's get a terrible cover of People Are Strange.
So for the people that are defending this movie, can you at least give me an idea about what this performance is like? I'd love to know. I'd love to know. Is it very? It seems like it'd be very dramatic, over the top. Is it like flamboyant, or is he trying to be scary? Like, what is it? Like, this picture is like leaving me wanting.
We're gonna say all of the above.
All the above.
It's flamboyantly scary.
Flamboyantly scary.
It's dark and edgy, and it's everything. It's Logan.
Look, that could be Hugh Jackman.
It really could be.
It could be Hugh.
Kid ourselves. That's a Hugh Jackman look. That's Hugh Jackman. Oops. That's Hugh Jackman's face in like any intense scene.
The
car didn't start. I'm gonna kick the truck and yell "fuck" 20 times in a row because we're in an R-rated movie. Don't get me started on this live stream on that. Kill the Bald Man. That's what that movie should have been called.
Russ, sorry, I had to pull this up on.
Stop that! Everyone's gonna unsubscribe.
I had to pull this up on the web just in time for the new Crow remake to come out. Shout Factory's putting out the Crow Salvation, the third film of the series, starring Kristen Dunst and Eric Morbius.
Eric Morbius.
Eric Morbius.
Was Iggy Pop in this one?
I don't know. I thought he died in the first one.
Iggy Pop's not in the first one. What the fuck are you talking about?
I thought I saw him in the first one. No? Second one?
He's in one of the sequels. I don't know which one.
Well, this one has got some commentary, some new features.
You know what's funny? Oh, I'm sorry.
It looks like crap. I don't know what the soundtrack's like, though.
Well, hold on. I actually was reading some comments. Apparently, this is the good sequel.
Is it?
That's what I've read. I don't know, but apparently I read a few people stating, like, hey, this one's actually pretty good and worthy of a site exclusive release.
Okay, well,
I can't speak on it. It looks, like you said, utter trash to me. I mean, even Kirsten Dunst looks embarrassed to be on the cover there. I mean,
but not Gerard Butler. Look at him, he's back.
Wow, Olympus has fallen.
This is Sparta.
Jesus Christ.
I know.
Get this off the screen, please.
All right, well, let's move along. But before, has anyone seen the... Did you see the new... that just reminded me. Did you see the new Crow trailer? You're about to.
No, you son of a bitch. It'll get us hit.
Has anyone out there seen the new Crow trailer? No, I'm not putting it up here.
Calling me.
I hope that's in the trailer.
Keep on calling me.
All right, well, let's move on. We don't have to talk about the Crow anymore.
Well, put the trailer on.
I was just saying you're gonna see it later.
Oh, I thought you meant on the
No, I'm not gonna play the new Crow trailer now. I don't want to. You know.
Okay.
I don't want to taint what's going on here with that.
It's all taint.
All taint. All right, Russ. Here's what's next. In the home stretch, got a couple left. Vinegar Syndrome, halfway to Black Friday sale, announced their next VSU. And if I could find it, Gerard Butler, sorry, buddy, you got to go, is Navy SEALs. And they teased like that what they were putting out, some action movie of blah, 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 and everyone was guessing a few things. I saw some people guess Navy SEALs, and I had a flashback of remembering Navy SEALs, but I've never seen it, just like maybe a poster or Clerks, getting made fun of in Clerks, like that kind of stuff.
Think about. Ooh, Navy SEAls.
I know, and just like, it's their next VSU, which I already talked and gushed about how awesome those are. This is clearly going to be just as great. This has been out on Blu-ray like a ton of times, but now Vinegar Syndrome is going to restore this film, preserve film history.
This is Michael Bihn's year.
Dude, Michael Biehn, I know, and Bill Paxton.
Bill Paxton's in Navy SEAls?
Apparently.
Oh, shit.
And Charlie Sheen, as you know.
I knew that, yeah. I didn't know Paxton was in it.
Who out there is pumped for Navy SEAls? I feel like this might be a title that people... I mean, in general, I feel like Vinegar Syndrome's top-tier releases a lot of people get jazzed for anyway, but I feel like this might be one that I could see a lot of people being interested in. I was... Not as much as Sidekicks. Any Navy SEALs love out there?
Nobody's watching us, man.
That's right. They all turned it off. Now, I think either... I remember, like, sort of... I guess, like I said, like the little bit that I did see, sort of like chuckling at it and being
you
like,
saw this?
no, the trailers or a poster or whatever it might be, like, be like, this is stupid. Yeah. Is it? Have you seen this?
No, but I remember I was 8 years old when it came out, and I even remember at 8 years old knowing it got terrible reviews.
It got awful reviews.
I knew it even back then.
And I wonder why.
Yeah.
And I wonder why. I mean, obviously, this isn't a blind buy for me or anyone else. Is there anyone out there that wants to tell us to watch it, sell us on it? Anyone?
Dan Flukes just weighed in. He said he's got a soft spot for Navy SEAls. It's so cheesy, but it's great fun.
Yeah.
Soft spot for the Navy.
I like, those kind of movies are always fun to watch. Cheese.
Extra cheese with extra cheese.
I have a question. Is Michael Biehn a good actor? Or is he just a dude who, hey, man, I'm here?
He's just like a gruff kind of guy. I feel like it's just like he's just being himself, maybe.
You think about it, he's been in like a lot of big movies, but he never broke through. Terminator,
The Abyss,
Navy SEALs.
That's
and
it.
it's just nothing. Everyone else involved
Those
in
three things.
Everyone everyone else in Navy SEALs went on to do, great things.
Wasn't he in Planet Terror, or am I thinking of Jeff Fahey?
He was, yeah.
Sean
both
Bean.
were, I think.
Was Jeff Fahey in there too? He's another guy that I just feel
you're
like
thinking
is
of Fergie.
Jeff Fergie.
Jeff Fergie.
Oh,
of
Fergie.
the
She's in the
Black Eyed
beginning.
Peas.
She gets like run over like in the first 5 seconds, doesn't she?
Yeah.
Planet Terror. Planet Terror out now. Vinegar Syndrome. They're also putting out Dangerous Game with Madonna and Harvey Keitel.
That's Abel Ferrara.
I know. I don't have any screenshots for that, but they are putting that out. I thought that was interesting too. But this
that's a hard movie to come by.
Is it?
Yeah, because I've never seen it. I'm a big fan of that director. It's even Torrance. I think it might not be. I know for a time I couldn't find that like anywhere.
What about Navy SEALs? Could you ever find that?
Ooh, Navy SEALs.
No Navy SEALs love. All right, we'll move along to another title coming out. Actually, KINO LORBER. I feel like I haven't heard from them in a while, and it's funny that you just said Abel Ferrara and like spoke it into existence. But Bad Lieutenant.
Oh shit! What? I did not see this.
Bad Lieutenant. There it is. KINO LORBER.
Word. I when did this get announced?
Like the other day.
I missed this. Oh, I'm a pre-order.
I like these covers where like the person's pointing the gun at you.
And that's the original artwork. I mean,
like From Dusk Till Dawn's another one that it's always like it's like
believe me, you've never seen this movie.
I haven't.
That's the best
That's
cover
the least
we're
of
gonna
it.
go with. We don't want to cover it with Harvey Keitel, pulling somebody over and jacking off while he's talking to him in front of their fucking car. I don't know what else you want on the cover of this movie, but
so this is coming out May 21st, Russ. 4K Ultra HD from KINO.
Keitel's dick in 4K.
Previously released from Lionsgate, and now they're bringing a simple, classy package to the people with the feature. Let's see. Let's pull these features up. You take a look. Features including, obviously, new 4K restoration from the original camera negative. You're getting an audio commentary from Ken Kelch and Abel Ferrara. Then you get a new interview from the cinematographer, a new featurette about the locations, and a retrospective documentary featuring exclusive interviews with the cast and crew. Nice little package there for Bad Lieutenant.
For this, yeah. I own a Blu-ray, but it's just some bare bones bullshit. There was never any good release of this, really.
No?
No. That
Well,
I'm aware of, ever.
And like I said, I do like this cover that they went with, but I also, I know that you like to do regular stuff, and I'm like looking at this old classic.
I mean, that's more
poster.
That's more in line with the movie.
And I'm like, why isn't this the cover? Like,
I like the gun one.
I like the gun one's badass too.
The gun was the VHS cover I'd always seen as a kid.
But I always hear so much about Harvey Keitel being naked in this movie. I feel like this is it.
He is naked in it.
Abel Ferrara leaps to the front ranks of independent movie makers, a shocking, utterly uncompromising work of art. Harvey Keitel gives the bravest, most powerful performance of his wild career. Was that what you would say?
It's a bad shit movie. I mean, it's fucking wild, dude. It literally is. It's a bad lieutenant. I mean,
he's a bad lieutenant.
He's corrupt, drugs, gambling, all this shit.
Prostitution.
Enmeshed with guilt, like religious kind of guilt. And it's just one of those movies that's excess where you're going to feel scuzzed out in parts. My Girl, Ms. 45, which is the same director. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. They brought her back to actually teach Harvey Keitel how to do heroin. Zoe Lund, the main character in Ms. 45, who in real life not only became a heroin addict, but was like an advocate for heroin.
Yeah.
Yeah, which, I don't know, she was a free thinker. They brought her back on set to like, hey, we're going to shoot, we're going to do a scene shooting heroin. We got to do it right. And it's always been rumored that her and Keitel actually did heroin.
Wow.
I don't know how true that is, but.
Wow, that's pretty gnarly. That's
the kind of movie, though. That's what I'm saying. Like, you're in for that kind of scuzziness.
I mean, sounds pretty good.
Keitel, yeah, he's crazy in it. He's Harvey. He's going for it.
Lindsay in the booth. We got anybody pumped for this?
Yeah, we have a question actually from Darren Spencer. He wants to know if this is worth a blind buy.
What do you think, Russ?
If you're easily offended, no.
What if you're like being offended?
Like, I would put this in the same category as a film like
Freeway.
Worse than that, because Freeway's funny. Freeway's Monica Bellucci getting raped.
Irreversible?
Oh, geez, Irreversible.
Yeah, I would put this around like in that level.
Mm-hmm.
Not as, I mean, Irreversible was newer, so it's more polished. It's more all that shit and more faster. But like that style of like, oh shit, like that's what Bad Lieutenant is.
Okay.
So if you dig that, yes, blind by it. Fantastic film. I love it. But like I said, it's
not for
I
everyone.
wouldn't recommend that to just fucking anybody. You know what I mean?
Yeah, not for everyone. Gotcha.
Like I said, all right, picture that. There's a scene where Harvey Keitel pulls over two teenagers. It's like and he's basically doing it to rob them and take their drugs. They feel guilty because they're, getting high or something, but he's taking advantage of the situation. And he's like totally manipulating shit out of them. Literally, while he's talking to him, he just starts fucking jacking off while he's just standing there like talking to him while they're in the car and shit. And he pulls him out the car. It's like shit like that where it's like, God damn, dude.
God damn, Russ.
We need it in
the whole
4K.
look.
We need it in 4K.
Gave me the whole view here. Now I do love Harvey Keitel.
Fuck yeah, he's one of
I
the
love Harvey Keitel.
greatest actors ever, man.
I mean, and
Underrated.
Yeah.
Harvey Keitel is one of those dudes you forget how many goddamn classics he's been in. Forget. I mean, even something like Taxi Driver, most people don't think Harvey Keitel right off the top of their heads. Like all the shit he's been involved, whether as a lead or supporting actor, he is one of the greats. Give him his flowers before he passes away.
please, especially everyone that's out there still watching, give him his goddamn flowers.
And he's a badass. He told Stanley Kubrick to go fuck himself.
He did?
Yeah.
Tell me that
If
story.
you've seen Eyes Wide Shut, the Sidney Pollack character was originally Harvey Keitel, and he was there. They were filming it, all that. Kubrick started doing what we all know Kubrick does, requiring like 80 shots. And Keitel was saying, I'm just walking in the room,
Yeah.
And after about like the 40th or something, Keitel was just like, hey, fuck this, I'm out of here. He's like, nah, I don't give a shit and all that. And they asked him about it, and they were like, that was Kubrick. I was like, you regret that? That was like one of the best filmmakers of all time. He's like, no, I have something that's more important than that. He's like, self-respect. I was like, God damn, Harvey Keitel's that guy.
That's my guy.
He's that dude. He's a different breed, man.
That's my guy.
He's a different breed. He's doing film covers like this.
I know. That's what I know.
Tell
Hey,
Kubrick to fuck himself.
I hope when you take that slipcase off, that's what's underneath, Russ. I hope that's what I see. When you pull that slipcase, pop it off, baby. I want to see Harvey Keitel in the nude.
And all right, after you watch this, there's a pseudo sequel starring Nicolas Cage, not directed by Ferrara, but it's an in-name only sequel. But it's the same thing. It's the crazy ass vibe, just a different setting. And
did he do this poster?
He should have.
This is damn near QUERELLE too. Look at Harvey Keitel.
Port of Call, the Nicolas Cage one, the Herzog one, it's good too. It's really good too. But even that one is easier to digest than this is.
Okay. So this
it's
is hard.
Not as scuzzy. Because this is like grimy New York. This is what Ferrara does best. And it's like he's really playing. Like, for instance, Ms. 45, you feel empathy for the lead character. King of New York, Frank White isn't like a terrible, terrible guy for a gangster. You know what I mean? Whereas in this movie, it's just all debauchery. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
I didn't expect to talk this long about Bad Lieutenant.
All right. Well, Bad Lieutenant, Russ, you're the most fired up you've been all night about Bad Lieutenant.
I didn't know this was coming out. I told you. I've been, I haven't had my eye on the ball the past week.
Well, maybe
news.
Let us know if Russ sold you also on Bad Lieutenant, or if anybody else out there agrees, disagrees, is also picking this up.
I'm happy. I hope I get a Ms. 45 4K.
Maybe that's coming next.
So stoked.
Maybe that's coming next. Russ, we got 2 titles left. 2 titles left to talk about. You ready? We're in the home stretch here. 2 titles for you, 2 titles for the people. And this will probably be the last time I have to talk about this movie, but I want to at least throw it out there one more time because that's what a kind of a fan I am, not only of this movie, but also the company. And that is Umbrella Entertainment We talk about them all the time. We have talked about them, I feel like, for the last couple of episodes, sharing all the special collector's editions that they're putting out. They're putting out the Raid, and they're putting out the 4K version, which is awesome. A lot of these ones we've been talking about, they're all Blu-ray. I don't know if there's any fans out there for the Raid. I know we've talked about it a bunch. Obviously, I am. And not only did it come out in that 4K Steelbook in the US, but then there's a 4K sort of collector's box set coming out from Play-On Entertainment in Germany. And now this is Umbrella putting this out in Australia. And it's actually a little bit more expensive than their normal collector's editions. Normally they're $55. This one's $70.
It's 4K.
It's 4K, but also there's, let me explain like what's in this package. So you have obviously the hard outer box plus the slipcase, plus the movie. There's a hardback graphic novel in here, a softback book with behind the scenes and interviews. There's and art. There's 8 art cards and a reversible poster. So I feel like there's like an additional book and a 4K disc that kind of maybe has upped the price a little bit. So it is a little bit on the pricey side. But you know, again, Raid fans can rejoice and maybe pick this up as well. We'll keep our
if you didn't pick up that Steelbook, go with this.
It's awesome.
I'm happy with the Steelbook.
Yeah, me too.
And and this is another title. We saw this happen with Blu-ray. I was a little late to the game. You introduced me to these movies, and I agreed with you. I thought they were fucking excellent.
Just waiting on 2.
But, you know, that Blu-ray set, it was already released as a 2-pack once with both of them. I feel like that's in the future.
It's in the future. Yeah, I hope so.
So I'm not going to go crazy. Oh, I got to get every edition of the Raid. Like, I'll hold on to that Steelbook just in case that doesn't happen.
Yeah.
But I think
if they gave me number 2 in a Steelbook and then they offered a 2-pack, I would still get the Steelbook, I think. It depends on, because I think that'd be nice, both of them 1 and 2 next to each other, unless the 2-pack is something. But I don't know, cool. I love that Umbrella keeps putting out every month. They put something out that I'm interested in, and that doesn't always happen with a lot of these labels. So I really like the movies that they've been putting out, and I've yet to pick up anything of theirs. But I know you have, and I know the quality of their stuff is great. So the Raid in 4K, get it. Umbrella, May 28th, or I'm sorry, this comes out June. God, I'm saying every wrong month. July 3rd is when this comes out.
Yeah, just pretend it's a James Cameron release. It'll be one of those months.
It'll be one of those months. You'll finally get it.
Maybe next month.
And then lastly, Russ, before we get out of here, back with another saucy title here at 4K Kings After Hours. You know how...
Asshole, that's my cat's name.
What is?
Saucy.
Oh, no. Sorry about that, Russ. Very unintended.
Thanks, Matt.
Back with another hot title. Is that your other cat's name? Sizzlin'.
Sizzle.
That's
my other cat's name. Sizzle.
4K Kings After Hours. Here we go. Here to talk about a title that I saw, and every once in a while, you know, I'll see some of these titles that just look a little interesting, and I want to show them to you, or just like see what other people think. But this is actually a movie I've seen the artwork for before, and now this movie's coming out in 4K, and it's one of my favorite posters and maybe artwork that I've ever seen, just because it's so outrageous that I just love it. I don't know, and I've never seen this movie, and I hope when I show it to you, you'll be able to explain to me.
I've seen it.
I don't know, maybe. It's from one of your faves, Lucio Fulci.
Was it House by the Cemetery?
It is not House by the Cemetery.
Well, I thought, what got really? I thought I saw. Show me what's going on.
Coming out
His
May.
stuff gets released just over and over and over and over and over again. You know how it is with him.
Coming out May 28th from Severin, Lucio Fulci's
Devil's Honey.
The Devil's Honey.
All right. As soon as you said it, I'm thinking about the covers. I'm like, I guarantee you.
Dude.
Okay.
This cover, this man playing saxophone up this woman's dress is so outrageous. I just can't help but laugh. And I know you're not supposed to, because this is obviously probably some sexy God knows what. But at first time I saw this, it was like, what is this?
All right, we're going to get deep.
So is this literally happen in the movie? Does a man play a saxophone up a woman's dress like that?
Well, let me
for stimulation purposes or other?
Now let's get it all in perspective.
Please.
For all y'all enjoyment, a song y'all can step with. Like, no.
I need to know.
Perspective.
Give it to me.
Okay. This is not the kind of movie that he's noted for.
Okay.
All right? Fulci is a director who had basically like 10 careers.
Okay.
All right. He had eras. He's been around for decades, but the Fulci that everyone is what he's known for.
Okay.
Is late 70s, early 80s.
Okay.
That's the zombies, the Jesus fucking Christ. Now I'm on a blank. In New Orleans. I was just fucking there. Anyway,
Okay.
zombie, that kind of shit.
Okay.
This is not that. This is his more. He does lurid. I mean, I guess you could call it softcore. Oddly enough, and his filmography is long as fuck. So like, there's tons of these movies. Even his fans haven't seen really, unless you're going to go through every single. Like I said, he had like waves basically, and this isn't a hot title for him.
Well, I mean, within his filmography, it is
fucking hot. Don't get me wrong, but you know what I'm. Yes.
Oh, it looks hot.
Yes. Strangely enough, though, Matt, I have seen this. Out of all the movies you picked up, I did watch this.
And is this does this go on?
Yes, this goes on.
Wow.
Within like the first fucking 20 minutes at least.
And what's the Devil's Honey?
I don't even remember, dude. It was years ago. But I promise you this happens in the movie.
Wow. Can I get a oh my gosh. Can I get a female perspective in the booth? Lindsay in the booth. What do you think about the Devil's Honey artwork?
I mean, I'm intrigued.
I mean, what?
And it's also the same font I think we used on the Blue News logo.
Maybe it is. This woman looks very satisfied by what's going on.
Would this work?
Yeah.
From the female perspective, asking for a friend, if I learn to play the saxophone
Matt, do you have a sax?
in about 2 years from now, when I finally can play well, this is what we'll be doing. Now this had come out from Severin before on Blu-ray, and that's where I had seen the post or this art before, and now it's coming out. Obviously, they're giving the fans what they want. They need this in 4K, so that's it.
Dude, they're not. This is one of those deals. Let me explain to you. This is the name. Fulci's name is bigger than this title, so they put it out. That artwork grabs your attention. Then you see that it's like they know what they're doing.
This title has more features than My Exorcist and Poltergeist combined.
Yeah.
This might as well be the Citizen Kane of Severin. Like, look at all this stuff. Look at all these interviews. Look at all these like essays, alternate openings. Obviously, they're doing great stuff with the camera negative and so forth.
Because people who are passionate about this stuff, these sort of B genres or whatever you want to call them. I mean, I'm not labeling them as B, but I mean, they're passionate. Their fans are real fans. That's what's part of the draw. That's what makes a lot of it beautiful. And that's what makes playing a saxophone into a vagina beautiful, Matt.
That's what I was also going to say. I'm glad that they stuck.
Fuck you, Coltrane.
I'm glad that they stuck with the original art, because here's the original poster, and it's obviously in Italian, I guess. But yeah, like this was always the art, and they're like, we can't redo this art. We're not going to hire some idiot to like make some new art. This is the art.
That's untouchable.
We
can't redo that.
This is an awesome painting.
I would love to. The core of my movie here. There is nothing else I want to say.
If you could take all the writing off, I would hang this up as a painting in the house. I feel like this is like just unreal. What's this beam of light? Like, what is that? It's so wild. It's
so you
great.
Pre-ordered?
Yes, so I pre-ordered. No, I'll probably just watch the trailer or something. But then there was one other art I saw a little bit different here, which they don't really give you the whole saxophone vibe, but there's like a wolf on the cover this time.
Yeah, what's the English title? I don't even the wolf. Oh, The Beyond. That's where I was getting tongue twisted on. It was
La Miel
Zombie, The Beyond.
Del Diablo. So I don't know. This is, again, just something a little wild that I saw. I love this art. I think this is incredible. Russ, I know you pre-ordered. Did they ever do a Lucio Fulci box set? They should, right?
Man, he's made like 100 fucking movies. And like I said...
They'd have to give him one of them Disney collections.
You'd have to do like a...
$1,500. $1,500.
Sell it to Sony.
Sell it from Walmart.
Here's the Devil's Honey. You can have it, Sony. We made our money. No, but like it would be absurd. You would have to do it like in trilogies or eras. Like I said, you'd have to do it like Zombie, The Beyond, you know, that kind of stuff. You couldn't include all of them. Like he was a completely different filmmaker at one point. Yeah. He kind of like fell into the... Even for giallo, he didn't. In my opinion, they're not even giallos. They're too lurid. They're like the Italian answer to
Cinemax.
No. Well, Devil's Honey. No, come on. They're European. They're way more open to sex than Americans are. We're fucking prudes. Look at this damn cover.
It's an awesome cover.
No, but what I'm saying is like. You would just have to do like a trilogy. This is the Gates of Hell trilogy. Yeah. You know, stuff like that. It would be like the Disney set. It's too many titles. He does, in my opinion, though. If you want a serious opinion,
Yep, serious.
I think he does sensuality very well.
Okay. This looks sensual.
And that's what I mean. I think he does it very well. It's funny. There's a scene. This is embarrassing, but whatever. There's a movie he did in the late 60s called The New York Ripper, and I enjoy it. But there's a scene in it that's kind of sexual, and it's not even, it's not actual sex. It's not actual anything. But I have to admit, for some reason, it was like, damn, all right, I kind of feel that. Like, and not because anyone was attracted. It was just the vibe of what was going on. And like, it was like, oh shit. Like,
Yeah.
I think he does the same way he does with horror. It's like, I think he just goes for it and he's not shy about it. And that's where he was a badass. Rest in peace too, man. You know, the dude died penniless.
It's a shame.
What's his name? The other big Argento. Like paid for his funeral and shit, paid his expenses. Like other filmmakers in the genres kind of got together, and yeah, he didn't go out nice. He was sick and stuff. It sucks.
Well, now that I'm sad, I'll just look at the Devil's Honey poster one time.
He had to sell the
I'm better again.
What's that? He had to sell the saxophone.
Every time I'm feeling down, I'm just going to look at this. Every time I think, oh, sad about Lucio Fulci penniless. Oh, well, at least he made this great piece of work that we can all enjoy, Devil's Honey. That's it. That's a wrap. Russ, thank you for your insightful commentary on the Devil's Honey.
Thank you, Matt. That's what I'm here for.
And your insightful commentary on everything else. We appreciate it. Thank you
Yours
for hanging
as well.
out. Thank you, Russ. Thank you. I had fun tonight. I hope everyone else did as well. We will be back April 10th. And don't forget, while we're gone, True Lies review will be coming up. What We Need in 4K will be coming up. And all the great clips from this stream for your viewing pleasure will be coming up. And we'll see everybody back there soon.
Adios, amigos.